Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.
Your weekly dose of romance and drama has arrived. Season 29 of The Bachelor is here, and Grant Ellis, certified hottie and former day trader, is trading his day job on Wall Street for a second chance at everlasting love. New episodes drop every Monday at 8/7 Central, bringing you fresh twists in Grant's journey to find his soulmate. This self-proclaimed mama's boy is all grown up and ready to invest his heart. Will his playful charm win over the house full of hopefuls, or will the competition prove too intense? From heartfelt moments to adrenaline-pumping dates, each week brings new surprises in the mansion. Will Grant find his perfect match or end up with a broken heart? Tune in every Monday at 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu for new episodes of The Bachelor.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, and welcome to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Yay, indeed, Jimmy. Yay, indeed. My name is James Petrogallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmy Wisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us again on another wild, woolly, crazy, insane, death-defying, gravity-denying edition of Crime and Sports.
Somebody's got an airplane.
No one's got an airplane. There's no airline things, but there is an awful lot of insanity and nudnickery this week. This is a thick one. It's one that people have been asking for a long time. We'll get into it very, very quickly. Just want to go over a couple house cleaning things here. First of all, October 19th at CB Live in Phoenix. Sold out, everybody. Thank you guys so much for that. We're working on more Crime and Sports. We're going to have one West Coast, one Central, kind of maybe one East Coast. We're working on putting it together and getting it on the schedule here. So don't worry, guys. We're trying our best. So if you see a Crime and Sports pop up, jump on it, because
better go.
Who knows how many there's going to be there. Go to shutupandgivememurder.com right now to see everything like that. Get all your Crime and Sports merchandise, all of your Small Town Murder merchandise as well. Get your tickets to Small Town Murder live shows. Come see us. If you like Crime and Sports and you don't listen to Small Town Murder, come to a live show anyway. If you heard a comedian for 5 minutes and you thought he was funny, you'd be like, I'd see his live show. If you hear us hours every week, do you think our other show is going to be funny live? Probably. So come see us. It'll be better than a stand-up show. I guarantee you that. Much more funny. So come out and see that. Also, thank you everybody for your iTunes reviews this week, or Apple Podcasts, that purple icon. They help a lot. So if you haven't done it yet, please get on there. Give us 5 stars. Doesn't matter what you say. Say you're following instructions, following directions. Takes 30 seconds to sign in, but wait till you hear the episode. It took a lot longer than that to compile this mass of insanity.
I believe that.
So yeah, do that, please. And also on shutupandgivememurder.com, there's links right to patreon.com/crime in sports, where you can make a donation and become one of our producers who we love so much and could not live without. You can also go to PayPal and use our email address, which is crimeinsports@gmail.com. So either one of those will work, and thank you for everybody who's done that. And without further ado, let's get right into this, Jimmy.
Terrific.
Because it's a crazy one, man. Yeah. It is crazy. It is Adam Bernard Jones. You know who that is?
Pacman Jones!
It's Pacman. Yes. This has obviously been a very requested episode since the beginning, but this is one of those, I'm glad we didn't do it in the beginning, because there's been so much that's happened. We would have had to do another one. We would have had to do a Lenny Dykstra with, here's even more craziness this guy's been involved in. So, Adam Pacman Jones.
Jesus, this is going to be like Jose Canseco. Do we have a bed around here?
It's great. No. We are going to, we're not doing that. We're going to do this the correct way. We're not going to go over a ton of football stuff.
All right.
Tell you how many interceptions he's gotten, that sort of thing. But we're going to focus in on the fuckery and the craziness and all of the legal things, and try to get through this in a timely manner. In a timely manner. We're going to try to not do 3-hour episodes here and do it a little bit less. But Adam Pacman Jones, we've all, I think by now, if you've just seen the news or any sort of just social media, you've probably heard of this guy.
Or you've watched a football game and heard heard somebody say, "Who does he think he is, Pacman Jones?"
Yeah, this guy. That means he's doing something illegal and thinking he's going to get away with it, and is what that means. And being really kind of brash about it as well. He's really just. It's wow. I can't explain to you. You hear about him here and there, but then when you compile it all together, it's wow. Is it a lot of parts?
I believe it.
It's like Stranger Things. Like there's like the new season. There's all these people and they're all monsters, and that's fine. But when they melt into one big monster, holy shit! Wow, is it big and scary, and it'll ruin the whole mall. So he's born September 30th, 1983.
God, he's so young.
That's what I mean. When I read that at first, I'm like, 83? And I'm like, but yeah, I guess that makes sense. He just stopped playing football, but for the love of Christ, 83. The guy has a record. It should be from like 42. You know, he was born when his daddy was away at World War II. He was killed in Iwo Jima, and he came up without a dad on the tough side of the tracks. And like, that's not what happened. It's 83.
This should be a blast today.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a blast. Don't worry. He's born in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He's born in Atlanta. He's raised by his mom, a woman named Deborah, and his grandmother, Christine. His mother gave him the nickname Pacman.
Really?
So that did not come. That's a childhood nickname that his mom gave him,
Really?
Which is weird because you find that a lot of times in here. A guy will have a nickname, and we find out it's a childhood nickname, and we're like, oh, Jesus, that sounded like something. You know, he got
Freddie Hardaway being called Penny.
Penny, yeah.
Right.
It's a lot of those where they sound like you get it later, but it's not. It's a childhood nickname. He said his mother said that he would change. His mother said he changed direction fast. He was a very kind of a hyperactive kid.
Okay.
He was always moving around like Pac-Man.
Yeah.
Eating ghosts, apparently. It's the other thing too. He
chasing a ghost all over the living room.
He survived till the age of 7 on nothing but ghost meat. So that was the problem there. And so Pac-Man was an obvious choice for the name. There's nothing else you could call the kid at that point.
Pellets.
And pellets. That's it. Little pellets and a cherry once in a while, but
from time to time.
Only from time to time.
Right.
He liked a cherry
when he was sick.
And then he made him feel better, which was pretty cool. And then he'd eat more ghosts, which was awesome. Yeah, it's got him fucking going. That's how he could eat all those ghosts. So his father, when he was 4 years old, his father was shot in the back of the head during a robbery and killed.
Okay.
So
that'll shape your life.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
A lot of his future actions make sense on that.
Now, when you say during a robbery, he was being robbed?
He was being robbed.
Oh,
the father was being robbed. His father was a criminal also, but he was being robbed at the time.
Got it.
So, I mean, who knows of what, and we don't know the circumstances. It was, 1987 somewhere in Atlanta.
Got it.
His dad was killed. By the way, quick interruption on the story. This is our 300th podcast.
No kidding.
Yes, our 300th episode of podcasting.
Between both of them.
129 for Small Town Murder, 171
Look at
for
us.
Crime and Sports. So congratulations to us for episode 300. We've tried our best. That's the best way. It's the best way I can put it.
We've sat down 300 times together.
300 goddamn times. That's insane, isn't it? That sounds like a lot.
It's amazing.
It's way more than that's like almost twice as many as there are Seinfeld episodes.
Right.
Think about it. And those are 22 minutes long.
And they got a lot more money for it.
Oh. Jerry just rides around with his friends laughing now. I watched one, and they were talking about, your company and which company gets this. He goes, I don't know. I don't even know if I have a company. He doesn't even know if he makes money for that because it doesn't matter. Because he wouldn't notice.
That's how much money
he has. How much money he has.
Do you still have money coming in, Jerry? I don't know.
They just gave me this car and said, go pick your friend up. I was like, cool.
They just
Sounds
gave
like
me
fun.
this $300,000 car.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's worth.
Sounds good to me.
That's what they said.
It's fucking insane. By the way, the one with Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
Is the greatest.
So good.
The greatest thing in the world.
What the fuck?
It's like, my two comedic heroes as a child right there. I was like,
As a comic, it really puts things into perspective.
It makes you feel like a piece of shit.
I am.
Jesus. Yeah. Well, just watching Eddie Murphy have a mild conversation with someone, you go, well, I'm half of 1% as talented as that person.
Right.
He's not even trying.
No,
he's just driving
being
around,
amazing.
just fucking around. He's looking at buildings and he's being 20 times funnier than I could ever be. God damn it.
Yeah.
No leather suit or anything.
No.
Just rocking it. So, Pac-Man here says he's got one memory of his father. His father was an amateur boxer as well. So an athlete also. He said Adam was sitting on his uncle's shoulders looking over a crowd to see his dad, at his funeral. That was the only memory he has of him is his funeral there.
That's not a memory
it's
of
not
your
really
dad.
a memory. His dad was only 24 also.
God,
so, I mean, young guy. Adam was 4.
What number does he wear?
Which team?
Oh, okay. So he
24 on a couple of them, but
that's what I asked.
He's had a couple different ones also. So yeah, his mother remembers Adam being kind of confused and not knowing what, because there's 4. You don't understand death when you're 4.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? The people just show up every day and you see them. I don't get it.
And then they don't one day.
Yeah, and so she said his mother said he remembered her looking up and asking, "Does this mean I'm never going to see Dad again, or what does this mean?" And she had to explain that. There he goes. Yeah. When they put dirt on him, he's not going to climb out of that shit. You wouldn't want him to. You'd be scared if he did.
It'd be horrifying.
You'd be super horrified by that.
You think this fucks you up?
You think this is traumatizing. You want to see a nightmare.
Right.
Where do you see your father, who's been dead for like 5 days now, with a gunshot wound to his head, crawl from the ground?
Yeesh.
Much worse, reeking of formaldehyde. You'll be much more screwed up. So, his mother, he said he just cried and cried. And a few months later, his uncle Nick also died.
The guy who was sitting on his shoulders?
Good God. So any kind of male figure in his life was killed at an early age. That's kind of what he grew up with. He says, quote, "None of the males on my dad's side ever got to see 25. My dad was shot and robbed. Nick was killed trying to rob somebody. Okay. My Uncle Ant was stabbed on a bus. He was 23.
His what?
Uncle Ant. Probably Anthony.
Is that the aunt that had balls?
Anthony. Yeah, it's my Uncle Ant.
That's my aunt that had balls, so she's now my uncle.
There's a lot of Italian kids with an Uncle Ant out there.
Really? Anthony. Yeah.
That's what it is.
That makes sense.
Uncle Ant was stabbed on a bus. Mm-hmm. He was at 23. So this is not good at all. One while being robbed, one while robbing, and one just apparently
not
needing to go 5 blocks down and didn't feel like walking and got stabbed for it. So that's pretty rough. So yeah, growing up, not the most stable mental situation, I would think. If anybody could be murdered at any time is not a great feeling as a kid.
No.
Anyone I'm close to could be murdered, so that doesn't make you want to get close to people.
No.
At least any males.
Right.
Anyway. And that's kind of the way it is, too, with him later on. It's interesting. We'll see later on. So as a kid growing up here in Atlanta, he was coached. Actually, a couple people took interest in him and helped him along with athletics and coached him. Yeah. A couple guys saw some talent in him, and there's always, hopefully, there's somebody there. It's always a good thing when there's somebody there who is just willing to help a kid out.
Yeah.
That's not like going to latch onto him and try to manage him later or any of that shit. Or
take advantage of him for whatever reason.
Yeah. Whatever the reason, try to let high school coaches that try to latch on to get paid from the colleges for steering their kids that way and shit like that. But if somebody actually is an actual helpful person and they're not trying to molest anybody or anything like that, it's so crazy that you have to qualify it with that many things. If they're not trying to latch onto them to steal their future income or fucking touch their butthole as a child or something fucking terrible, it's like, in the 2% chance that they're not trying to do any of that stuff and they're just a decent person, what the fuck is happening?
That is amazing.
Yeah, because I picture that guy, and that's the guy we talk about all the time. That's 20 minutes early with all the orange slices at Little League practice. That's not the guy you want coaching your team.
He's either trying to count the ripples in your butthole, or he's looking for a Corvette from somebody for later.
That's what I mean. Right. Either one. We always say that. You want the guy coaching the team that you have to force to coach the Little League team. Where you're like, no, his wife had to yell at him, and he's like, fucking, all I have is Saturday. Fine, I'll do it. That guy's not going to touch any of those kids because he doesn't want to be around them.
No.
The guy who's like, who needs a coach? You need a coach? I'll coach. No, I don't have any kids, but I love kids. I'll coach. Stay the fuck away from that guy. That's the guy 20 minutes early with orange slices going, hey kids, I'm Tom.
I've got a strict no high-fiving policy. It's all hugs around
here. It's all hugs and ass slaps. That's it. Just like the major leaguers. I'm going to teach you kids how to do it right. So in high school,
you got to take the orange slice out of my mouth.
That's the only way it's going to work. Jesus Christ.
Good fuck.
In high school, he went to Westlake High School in Georgia here in Atlanta. And this high school at the time he went there had the most NFL players of any high school in the country.
Really?
That were alumni of a particular high school. It had like 7 players. Mm-hmm. Later, and a couple of years after him, Cam Newton ends up being an alumni of there. So Pacman and Cam Newton both went there.
Incredible.
So right there is enough. But there's a few other guys too. Sean Jones, who was a defensive back for about 6 years. A lot of linebackers, bunch of defensive defensive guys. Only Cam Newton, a guard, and one tackle, and everybody else is all DBs and linebackers.
How about that?
Interesting. Edwin Jackson, Sean Jones, Keontae Tripp, Keith Adams, Anthony Mitchell.
Tripp, T-R-I-P-P?
T-R-I-P-P. I played for Cleveland for 1 year. I don't know. But Jones, he played in the Georgia-Florida All-Star game and was selected as the Conference Player of the Year.
Really?
Here. So yeah, he's a talent. There's no, if you've watched Pacman play, there is no doubt he's a talent.
Yeah.
You watch this guy and he's like a B level Deion Sanders is the way I always looked at him. Like, he's not quite Deion. He's like if someone tried to make a knockoff of a big budget movie. Yeah. And they did a real competent job, but they didn't have the budget to do the huge explosions and it's that sort of shit. Like, he's got like a, he really is talented, and he's fast. He's just a little, not quite as fast as Deion, not quite as talented as Deion, not quite as brash as Deion, but he doesn't get away with it as easy as Deion.
He makes it fun to watch whatever matchup he's on.
He's entertaining player.
Jesus, he's great.
He's a great player to watch. He's effort too on the field. This guy looks like he will throw his body at a wall for. He's like Lenny Dykstra in terms of that. Like, he's not slacking out there on the field or anything like that. When he gets
beat, it even still looks like he did all he could.
That's the thing. He always looks like it's maximum effort here. So he's player of the year following his senior year. He had 120 tackles, 6 interceptions. Wow. This is like in 10 games in high school and also he was a running back as well. Went both ways in high school. Anybody that talented, they'll put him out there for anything they can.
Especially if they're fast.
Can you kick too? Go kick field goals. He ran for 1,850 yards as well.
Christ.
Which is monstrous without the defense.
He didn't take any breaks. He's playing both sides.
And just killing it.
That's unbelievable.
And killing it. And also in football, and that was as a football player, he was also an All-American in basketball and track. So he's really good. And the basketball team he was on, that high school, won 2 state championships as well.
Jesus Christ.
So he's a winner and a great athlete. Grace.
Now.
High school. Hey, things have been, besides his dad getting shot, everything's been going great so far.
God damn it.
You know, for him, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I don't know what he's thinking otherwise, but up till now, terrific. We're 15 minutes into the episode. He's done already.
Falling from grace now.
Grace now. Yeah, here it is. Here comes the slide.
All right.
So he chooses to go to college at West Virginia. So West Virginia University, the Mountaineers there. So he goes to West Virginia, and he's there, at the end of the summer. This is before the football season's even started. It's mid-August. So around, now-ish, except in 2002. Doesn't play football yet, nothing. He's there. Him and a teammate of his, Leandre Washington, were at a place called Dr. John's Lounge, which was a bar.
Sounds like a bar.
And they get into a fight at a bar, and it is said that Pacman struck another West Virginia student in the face with a pool cue. He says after being called a racial slur and, cutting his face up and all that type of shit, he's arrested and charged with felony malicious assault, and he faced up to a year in prison at this point. So without even playing it down.
Wow.
It's already bad. Now, if somebody did call him whatever the fuck, it is West Virginia, who the hell knows, and that's worthy of being cracked in the head with a pool cue, but you're also going to get arrested at the same time. That's the problem.
Pacman Jones is not a tall guy, correct?
No, he's a 5'10".
He's
5'10".
So
I mean,
5'10",
he's thick.
Yeah.
But he's not an imposing looking person.
At 18, 19 years old, I doubt he was big.
No, he's not a real imposing guy, but he's tough.
Right. But looking at that guy in a bar, you don't figure that guy plays football and he can probably fight.
Probably not. Well, he's also got a pool cue.
Right.
If he's willing to hit you with a pool cue,
doesn't matter how well he fights.
He's really kind of beyond the point at that point. Once the Hells Angels rules take effect, it's really kind of pointless then. All the other shit goes out the window. The skilled, whether it's going to be a skilled contest or not.
So even if the guy did blurt out a racial slur, it's not illegal. It's a dipshittery, and the guy probably deserves to be hit.
Oh, he deserved to get punched in the face.
Unless you
absolutely.
If you don't get away with it, you go to jail, not that guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. That's the thing.
Unless that guy hits you after saying that word, then you can beat the living shit out of that guy. You can do whatever you want. You can stab him.
But I feel like even a punch in the face would have been probably less wouldn't have been malicious felony assault. The weapon is where that's the problem.
Right. That's
you would have went and punched this guy in the mouth. I feel like anyone would have went, well, don't call people a fucking N-word, stupid. That's, I mean, duh.
Yeah.
People, you get punched in the mouth for that.
Sometimes.
That's what happens. Yeah, and you fucking deserve it, stupid.
Unless you don't say it to somebody that also believes the same as you,
that's
then
it.
You're going to get hit.
So 2002, the West Virginia season here, there's no one we've really heard of on the team because West Virginia's not they have good teams from time to time, but not a lot of stars here. There is a player on the roster named Heike Johnson that I found, though, which is hilarious.
Hikey?
Heike Johnson. That's his name. Heike.
Oh, boy.
Heike. Hi, I'm Heike Johnson. Heike Johnson sounds like he has to go sell like heating implements afterwards for like, HVAC installation.
I see him as going, I'm Heike Johnson, the hostess at this here smokehouse restaurant.
Oh, that too. That could work too.
He's not even like a salesman. He's not like the owner. He just happens to work there, and they're like, your name's great. Sell some barbecue, boy.
I pictured him going from town to town in a sad gray suit with like a briefcase full of like weird heating implement parts that he goes from like place to place and tries to sell people on them. And they're like, man, that shit's from 10 years ago. That technology.
Like, so you're telling me that you sell furnaces? No. This here's a part for the furnace. Wait, so
things gone downhill for Heike.
But if my furnace works right now, well, see, what happens is, what if I have a gas furnace? Yeah, this part is not for you.
See, it's not, never mind.
Do you know anybody that has this part?
He's got like an 87 Ford LTD with like 2 hubcaps, but not both on the same side, right. Like one front hubcap, one rear, back rear. Not good. It's a bad look, I feel like. Heike was a running back that had a grand total of 112 yards in 4 years.
Probably closer to what his life is today.
I think we nailed his life, probably. Now, Pacman plays 11 games his freshman year, has 1 interception. Now, while he's a freshman, his grandmother died of cancer.
Oh, Jesus.
He missed 1 game that year, and this is the only game he'll ever miss over the course of his college career, was to go to her funeral, which, you're not going to miss your grandma's funeral. No. So, 2002, the Mountaineers go to a bowl game. They're 9-4. They go to the Continental Tire Bowl, which is the most prestigious. There's a lot of things in this world, Jimmy, that are a lot of prestige and the pageantry, and people put tuxedos on. There's flyovers, but the Continental Tire Bowl, nothing tops it. Right. It's like a royal wedding, basically. It's that sort of pomp and circumstance and worldwide broadcast.
I got news for you.
Watched by a billion.
I'm impressed that Continental Tires make enough money to sponsor a bowl game.
Well, they did in 2002 at least.
Some shit tires.
Yeah.
Garbage ass tires.
Well, they lose to Virginia that year, so they lose to original Virginia here.
They have West Virginia and Virginia in that bowl.
In the Continental Tire Bowl.
Christ.
Oof, boy. I hope it was in one of the Virginias.
Those poor fucking people they got to drive down to goddamn Louisiana.
Jesus. So Pacman was an athletic coaching education major, so gym teacher school, and a member of the athletic director's academic honor roll.
Well, how about
in his freshman year? Look at that. 2003, he is second team All Big East Conference. He has 89 tackles and 4 interceptions, returns 1 for a touchdown. Yeah. This is when he starts returning punts and kicks as well, which is a lot of his excitement. He has a couple forced fumbles. He's doing very well here. He has an 87-yard kick return in a win over Boston College, and he also has a 47-yard interception return, like we talked about before. A lot of tackles too. He's just getting better and doing everything basically here. 2003 of October, he is given this is sentencing for his
for the pool cue.
Yeah. They give him, you sir may fuck off 1 year in jail, but it is suspended in favor of 2 years worth of probation.
Got it.
Because he's a football player on the football team. Yeah. And if he was just some guy who hit a guy with a pool cue, he'd probably be, they'd probably give him 6 months or something. He would have done 6 months.
He's going to get sued for that though, right?
He doesn't have anything at this. He's a college student.
Wow.
He's a college student. And plus, I would think too, if you're a West Virginia student and there's a good player and you start suing him, you're probably going to get pressure. It's not, you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
People call, you'll probably get fucked with, I I would imagine. You just want it to go away, I would think. If
I'm
you're that
just
guy.
shocked that there's no like suing of the school. He's a kid. He shouldn't have even been in a bar.
That's the other thing. Well, that has nothing to do with the school.
Yeah.
That has to do with the bar.
Yeah, that's a good
but
point.
those bars around colleges, we all know how those operate.
For a pool bar, and there may not have been. You could have been 21 and over, or 18
That's
and over.
the thing. It could have been 18 and over with a wristband or some horse shit. So, there's that year. Like we said, 4 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown. 2003, the team goes all the way to the Gator Bowl. They go 8-5, and they lose to Maryland in the Gator Bowl. So at least that's a bowl we've heard of. That's good here. 2004, West Virginia. He plays in 12 games, has 3 interceptions, has a punt return for a touchdown. He's returning a bunch of kicks, 24 yards per return average. Not bad. He's elected a secondary captain on the team as well. So he's getting a leadership role here. Leads the team in tackles and interceptions. Also, they would put him in on offense once in a while to run like end arounds and shit like that. And he'd also return punts and everything like that. He is named first team All Big East as a defensive back and also an honorable mention All-American. So
it's great.
Not bad.
Yeah.
76 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 interceptions. So not too shabby at all. Here, also named to the Big East Special Teams, the Big East Special Teams Player of the Year.
Amazing.
As well. So
Of the year.
So not too shabby in 2004 there. 2004, they go to the Gator Bowl again and lose to Florida State this time.
Okay.
So they're going to get beat by anybody in Florida or Virginia or anything like that.
Catching a lot of L's in bowl games.
A lot of bowl game. Yeah, they lost 3 straight bowl games there because I don't know why. They got their ass kicked too. It was 41-7 against Maryland and against Florida, 30-18 against Florida State. So they suck here.
Yeah.
Now, after his junior year, he decides that it's time. He says, you know what? It's time for me to spread my wings.
Yeah.
I got to spread my wings. I'm going to declare myself eligible for the NFL draft.
Okay.
And he does just that. 2005 NFL draft. On the day of the draft, players always wear crazy suits and shit like that. He wore a T-shirt with his grandma's picture on it.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is very nice.
Yeah.
When he's drafted, he's still on probation, by the way, for the fight in West Virginia. So I assume he had to make sure
That is
to
awesome.
get permission to go get drafted by his probation officer. So should we draft this kid? I don't know. He's on probation currently. It's a problem probably. Number 1 pick that year was Alex Smith.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Out of Utah. For the Niners, as we know, who's had an awful career for a long time,
poor
and then
guy.
became a star out of nowhere again. After being this kind of mediocre, serviceable quarterback, became a star, and then Joe Theismann himself. And I assume will walk with a limp forever.
Forever.
And be
It's
a terrible
over.
commentator.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, that's it. Ronnie Brown, the running back, was number 2. Remember him on Miami?
Yeah.
Good running back.
Great
actually.
little running back.
Braylon Edwards, who was a kind of a disappointment always by
Disappointment
Cleveland.
as fuck.
Cedric Benson, who was, as usual, always a disappointment for the Bears. Anybody the Bears draft is usually a disappointment, for the most part anyway, especially at running back since Walter Payton.
They haven't really drafted anybody. Did they draft Hussein Muhammad? He was good.
As a receiver.
But then he fucking went away too.
He went to Carolina.
Right.
But the running backs, though, since Peyton, they've been trying to replace him. Neil Anderson in the beginning, and this is never going to get that guy.
Benson may have been the closest, and he was still.
Yeah, and he's not. Walter Payton, that's a problem when you got a guy like that. It's like getting drafted as a linebacker for the Giants. You're always going to get the Lawrence Taylor comparison. You're never going to measure up.
Ever.
You're never going to measure up to Walter Payton.
No.
He's just one of the top 3 players that ever lived, so you're probably not going to be as good as him. Cadillac Williams, number 5.
Yeah.
Remember him with Tampa there. And then finally, number 6, Tennessee, the first defensive player of the draft chosen, Pacman Jones.
Really?
By Tennessee. First defensive player of the draft. Antrell Roll went a couple
He was great.
spots later. Yeah, this is otherwise. It's this draft is Aaron Rodgers. This was the Aaron Rodgers sit there.
All right.
And wait to get drafted draft. He went number 24 to Green Bay. Otherwise, it's not a.
That cost him millions.
Oh, so many millions. He made it back now.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he did. Yeah.
He'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't pity him by any stretch.
Yeah, no.
But he would have got it a lot sooner.
Absolutely. Now, right after he got drafted, actually, there's a report that at a Georgia nightclub that the Georgia authorities, the police, investigated a report that Pacman was involved in a fight in a nightclub, but no charges were ever filed against him in that case. Apparently, it was like a big melee.
So he was just there.
Who knows what happened?
Okay.
I think it was one of those where they went, forget it. Let's just everybody walk away, forget it ever happened.
You're all guilty.
Fuck it. We don't know.
What time is it?
Is anyone hurt or pressing charges? Then what are we doing? Let's just go home. What's the difference?
You telling me 2 drunk guys wanted to fight and they did it?
Wow.
Fuck it.
That never happens at a bar. They use pool cues? No, then fine. July 14th, 2005, a nightclub owner named Robert Gaddy says that Pacman grabbed his shirt, hit him, and broke his necklace after this Robert Gaddy asked 3 of Jones's friends to leave the club that he was managing here. This manager told police that he asked Jones's friends to leave because they were, quote, smoking drugs. So I don't know. We don't know exactly what they were smoking, but they were smoking drugs, according to this man. They said Jones became belligerent, as people do when they're smoking drugs of whatever kind.
It's very common.
Quote, started cussing the victim, grabbed his T-shirt, and broke the victim's necklace. That's what the warrant says. His friends pulled him off. Pacman's friends pulled him off, but he broke loose again. As we'll find, he does all the time. People pull him off. He'll break loose. Police will try to arrest him. He breaks loose. That's why he was a good running back in high school. He's really very hard to tackle. He just keeps going. He's got a good motor on him.
Very Pac-Man of him.
It is. It's like when he's returning punts. He's hard to bring down. He just keeps going. His legs are always moving. That's how it goes, on the field, off the field. So then he ran up and punched this guy, ran at Gaddy and hit him in the chest, punched him in the chest, basically. As Pac-Man was leaving, he then shouted racial shit at a club employee named Lamar Woodson, which sounds like a black guy.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of white guys named Lamar Woodson.
I mean, it's a cowboy
in
name.
Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just Lamar Woodson's a cowboy. In what year?
I'm joking.
Yeah, I know. Nowadays, that is so I don't know what.
I don't know. That's like
it's not racial if it's a black guy to a black guy. It's just not.
Well, I mean, it is, but it's not.
It's not.
Right.
If I'm in an Italian restaurant getting thrown out and I'm like, you fat guinea fuck, that's not a racial slur. He's a fat guinea fuck, and I'm a guinea too, so eat shit. I'll call you a guinea all day long.
Was Lamar throwing
pointing it out?
Or was Lamar just like walking down?
He was just an employee of the club. So he was like, and you too, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And so that, I don't know what
Unless he called
there.
him like Uncle Tom or some shit.
I guess, but and then he also punched him in the chest.
Oh, okay.
So that's the problem, more than the racial slur of any kind. So he hits him punches him in the chest. Pac-Man is charged with vandalism because he damaged the necklace, valued at $4,000.
Wow. The fuck is that guy wearing that to work for?
He's at a club. He's got these ladies. It's for the ladies. Yeah. The club here, this Gaddy guy said, quote, I really don't want anything real bad to happen to him because of this, but I'm doing this to teach him a lesson. You can't just go around thinking you're above the law. Fine. He will. Don't worry.
You're the guy that's going to do it?
Guess what? It's still happening. That happened in 2005. Lesson still not learned. So what's the point at this point?
I don't know if it was worth your time, sir.
That's right. He's arrested and charged with assault and felony vandalism. This was in Nashville, not Atlanta. Still, though. So he's released after he posts bond. He does not make any comment to reporters. His agent, though, says in a statement that he's been advised not to comment and that he regretted any negative publicity for the Titans. He's very sorry about this. He says, quote, this is his agent, regrettably, there are certain individuals out there who are opportunists, who prey on professional athletes for financial gain. And unfortunately, this is one of those incidents.
Yeah.
You broke a guy's necklace and punched him in the chest. I don't think he's trying to fucking...
He's trying to teach you a lesson,
He's trying to teach you a well-needed and never-heeded lesson. So the Titans said, and they're the silver-haired statement of the week, because there's going to be a lot of silver-haired statements. They seem to get nicer as it gets older. They're like, look, it's Pac-Man, They said that he hasn't matured enough in his decision-making and his behavior despite their efforts and the league's efforts. They said, quote, we remain confident that Pac-Man Jones will become an important contributor to our team. But in order for that to happen, he's going to have to conduct himself responsibly in all aspects of his life on a consistent basis, and not get arrested anymore before we even play a fucking game. Because they haven't played a game yet, and he's been arrested. So
this is very familiar from college.
It's
continuation. Even play it down.
Not even a down. September 5th, he gets into a new environment. He's got to get to know everyone, including the police in town. That's what it is. He's like, you know what? I'd like to know the guy out on the beat. Hold on, let me punch a stranger in the chest and yell a racial slur at him, and maybe a cop will come and I can get to know him.
I did not get a welcoming committee. I would like to know who runs this area of town.
I just like cops. It's just I like being friends with them, but it's hard to find them. You know what I mean? So
I know how to find them.
You got to do something illegal, then they come. It's weird. People call them.
Show right up.
So otherwise, if you call them, that's also illegal.
Right.
So September 5th, 2005. Still haven't played a fucking game yet. Police have to become involved when Pacman's engaged in a loud verbal tantrum after he's told that he has to wait in line for his vehicle at the annual Nashville Sports Council kickoff luncheon where he's a guest. This is just a nice... This is a nice Sunday, Saturday afternoon thing where people put on nice clothes and pastel colored polo shirts and shit, and they
meet the new draftee.
They gather the Nashville Sports Council kickoff luncheon. There's press there and old people and shit, and this guy freaks out because he had to wait in line for his car at the valet stand. He refused to pay for the valet and he said, "I don't have any money. I'm not giving you shit." And said he had no money. So the state of West Virginia filed a petition alleging that he had also, this is another thing, state of West Virginia right then files a petition saying he hasn't made regular and sufficient contact with his probation officer.
Oh, my God.
And the court ends up extending his probation an extra 90 days.
This is the problem.
It stacks. Yeah. It stacks, man. It's so stackable. And then it just keeps going. It's a snowball. It's like a Velcro snowball. They say snowball because snowball picks up shit as it goes. A house, a tree, it doesn't matter. Imagine putting Velcro on it. It's a Velcro snowball. And it's just picking up more Velcro and dog hair and fuzzies from the laundry and every other fucking thing. It's awful. So, 2005 season, actually, still very little football in this episode, even though he played. There's not going to be. Okay. We'll barely talk about it. We won't have time. It'll be here for 5 hours. He misses most of training camp, holding out in a contract dispute.
Oh my God.
And getting arrested at the same time. It kills your bargaining position. When you're telling someone, I'll be good, I'll be important to the team. Oh, hold on. Can you bail me out of jail? Do you know of a good lawyer in town?
I met the cops tonight. Good news, guys.
Good news, guys. They made some friends. The Titans were probably like, oh, that's good. He's going to the Nashville Sports Council kickoff.
Right.
That's a nice thing for him. It'll be some good press, take some pictures with some, the mayor, and this will be great. What? How does he get arrested at the sport? What the fuck? How's that possible?
He didn't have a 20 on him? Are you shitting me?
Do we need to send him out with some change?
Do we need an envelope in his pocket?
Don't let Pacman leave the building unless he's got a 10, a 5, 5 ones. And I also want him to have 4 quarters just in case. Okay? Put it in an envelope and just give it to him every time he leaves, just in case. He might need lunch money or valet or some shit, but we don't want him getting arrested over it.
Change of a 20.
Change of a 20. Just keep giving that.
Somebody break a 20, put it in his pocket.
Put it in an envelope and give it to him every time he leaves the facility. Here you go, Adam. Just in case. You never know.
In case you got to tip one goddamn person.
A valet.
One fucking valet.
You want a cheeseburger. Right. You don't have to punch a guy for it and get arrested or hit him with a pool cue. You can just use this money that we gave you.
Incredible.
So the Titans general manager said the Titans were concerned over several off-the-field incidents, because they are.
Right.
And this general manager, Floyd Reese, said the contract talks broke down when Pacman balked at the Titans' proposed safeguards, which were, if you get arrested, your contract's terminated or any shit like that.
Yeah.
Any of these, you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to drink alcohol or anything. Yeah. He wouldn't do any of that shit. But he does agree that he would not be paid any guaranteed or bonus money if he's convicted of a crime.
Convicted.
That's the compromise they got to. So arrested, fine. He's like, I'm going to get arrested. I mean, that's good. Come on. Jesus, guys, you can't pigeonhole me. What else am I going to do? I got to get to know the cops in town. So
Is a plea bargain a conviction?
It's not technically. I'm not going to arrest though. Yes, that's going to happen.
For sure.
Plea bargain. I mean, I'm not going to do that. I'll just deny it. So it's a 5-year contract that guarantees him $13.5 million.
Pretty good.
Not a bad. It's number 6 overall pick. So that's
not bad at all.
Going to get you paid. October 2005, they officially extended extend his probation after he misses another check-in with a probation officer. During the season, he plays in 15 games. He starts 13 of them, has a lot of punt returns. He returns a punt for a touchdown, which isn't bad at all. No interceptions, but a good season, especially on special teams. He makes the NFL All-Rookie team.
All right.
So not too shabby. Very good. He lot of returns to, like we said, just a lot of returns. They're using him mainly in special teams. February 2006, he is arrested in Fayetteville, Georgia, after an incident outside of one of his friends' houses here. They apparently charged him with marijuana possession, but then quickly took it off for some reason. But they do press charges for felony and misdemeanor counts of obstruction of justice.
Interesting.
Which is not the first or not the last time he will be charged with obstruction of justice in one way or another. The way the police put it, this is Police Chief Stephen Heaton in Fayetteville. He says, quote, "One of our officers was involved in a traffic stop with him, and after Pacman and others ran into a home, there was a physical altercation between him and the officer, and he was involved in that. He was arrested for that."
Jesus.
They ran away into somebody's house. So apparently they were being pulled over, and they're like, pull up in front of dude's house. And they pulled up, and if we just go inside and turn the lights off, he won't know we're here. It doesn't make sense.
Also, don't name your kids first and last names that fucking rhyme. If it rhymes, knock it off.
Steve Heaton.
Stephen Heaton?
Stephen Heaton.
Fuck.
That's not good at all.
No.
So, yeah, I guess apparently there was friends of his that were sitting in a car outside of a house because it wasn't a pullover. They said a traffic stop, but they were just sitting outside the house. Maybe hotboxing, who knows?
Probably.
Apparently, they said the cops have been monitoring the area for burglaries. And when they approached the car with probably 4 black dudes in it, they were like, hey.
It's a little racist.
Well, it's
what happens.
it is what, that's what fucking happens all the time. So, they said they weren't suspecting him of being involved in any burglaries or anything, but when the police approached the car, there was a verbal confrontation. Why are you approaching the car then?
Right.
Fucking leave them alone. You want to see if they're smoking weed in there.
Yeah.
Or who knows?
Or if you had somebody's shit in the back seat.
Who knows? So the cop here, Stephen Heaton, he says the verbal altercation led to a physical confrontation, and they ran into a home they were sitting outside of. We had to run in and get them, and there was a physical confrontation with Pacman, and he was charged with felony obstruction. We had to get physical with him, and he got physical with us.
Okay.
So not bad. A month later, March 2006, he is arrested for possession of marijuana.
What the fuck?
That'll be dismissed a little bit later on, but
really?
Possession of marijuana, he's arrested, so that's fine. April 2006, he's got a Cadillac. And in this Cadillac, he's got on the headrest, Pacman is stitched into the headrest of this Cadillac. Now, this Cadillac is seized in a 2006 cocaine bust. He's not there. It's not registered to him, but it's his truck. It's got Pacman in the fucking
Obviously, it's his truck.
That's the truck he drives around. Everybody knows it's his truck, but it's registered to who knows. So he's got like a Henry Hill situation. Nothing in my name.
All right.
So he does tell a police reporter that it's his car. He loaned it to a friend of his, a Daryl Jerome Moore, for a music video, and so there was that, and it got seized in a cocaine bust
for a music video.
Oh,
Jesus.
Now 3 days later, Pacman's at a gas station in Nashville about 1:50 a.m. when gunshots are fired.
Oh, boy.
He was, and if you've been in Nashville at 2 a.m., that's not surprising at all. He was questioned by police as a witness there. They quoted him as saying the vehicle, he said that he's been, quote, falsely dragged into these matters that are completely unrelated to me. That's what he says. I don't know what, but wherever he's around, he's like a magnet for bullets. He's very magnetic. There's bullets, there's problems and trouble.
But falsely dragged in, are you in it or are you not? Because if you're in it, you're not falsely anymore.
Well, he's falsely dragged into these matters that are completely unrelated to me. I am just minding my business, and I'm getting roped and pulled into things that I don't even know about.
Did he spit that out to the cops, or do you have somebody prepare that?
I feel like that was a written statement he gave. That's the Tennessean quoted him as saying that, so he could have submitted that in writing.
That was not on TV.
No, I would love to see him get that out in one sentence.
I wish it was taken with the night out of the event.
That would be perfect. I'm sure, because he had a few drinks in him probably. Now, August 25th, 2006, during training camp in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Pacman is arrested. He's arrested for disorderly conduct and public intoxication at a nightclub after he spat at a woman that he accused of stealing his wallet. Some woman, I don't know, accused of stealing his wallet, and she said, I didn't steal your wallet, so he spit at her.
Perfect.
Perfect. Very classy move. Police said that later on now, after he spits at an employee of the bar. It's an employee.
Oh, my God.
They asked him to leave, and he refused and continued to shout profanities at the woman instead. Didn't spit anymore. A judge at this point gives him 6 months probation on the condition that he stay out of trouble and stay away from that particular nightclub. So he's banned from a nightclub, and he's got to stay out of trouble.
Good God.
Think he's going to stay out of trouble, Jimmy?
No.
I don't think so.
He's spitting at women.
Oh, that's nothing. Wait till you see later on. Wait till he gets to a strip club. Oh, my. That's considered kind compared to what he does in strip clubs. So 2006 season, playing for Tennessee, 15 games again. He starts all 15 games. He's got 3 punt return touchdowns.
Really?
Which ties a record for a season.
Who was the other one?
Billy White Shoes Johnson was the one. And I think Devin Hester also had 3 that year.
Really?
So they both had tied the record that season.
Got it.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He averaged 12.9 yards per return, which led the league as well. So not bad at all. On October 26th, 2006, he is cited for misdemeanor assault. For getting in some sort of fracas with a female near a Tennessee State University student at during a private party at Club Mystic, which is a Nashville nightclub.
Of course it is.
He got in some altercation that netted him a misdemeanor assault charge. So nice job there. He also has 4 interceptions that year, which is great. January 11th, 2007 is court. This is for public intoxication and disorderly conduct from before. Now, this is where the judge says everything will be dismissed if he stays out of trouble for 6 months, but he already had gotten in trouble in the meantime, so I don't know what that's about. He's also going to have to complete anger management counseling, which he's apparently already enrolled in that through the NFL. He's also has to stay away from the Sweetwater nightclub, which was the first one where he got in the argument with the woman there. And he's also ordered to pay court costs and all that kind of stuff. If he meets all these conditions, it'll be expunged. Okay. So he's just got to do that, like a kid who did something wrong here. Now, his attorney says he started anger management already. He's all good. They said that, he's already been in anger management because an arrest makes the league go do that if you have an assault arrest here. As he leaves the courthouse, he meets up with fans and then talks to them and shakes hands and shit like that. And his lawyer said, quote, he understands that because of what he does for a living and that people know him, he's pretty much held to a higher standard, and he's going to adopt that. This is a higher standard. No, he's not held to a higher standard. That's the point. The point is, he's not held to a higher standard. He's held to a much lower standard. Much lower standard.
And now he gets it after he spit on a woman?
No.
But he's not even facing the music for that yet. He's only facing the music for, which is this? This is the fucking public intoxication?
Who knows?
This is ridiculous.
We're so stacked up right now, I'm starting to get confused of which cases he's going to court for. Like, in my notes, I started putting court, and I put, for what? Oh, for this incident. And I put, for this incident, but I'm like, when was that? Oh, that was the February, not the March arrest. It's very confusing to do this. It really is. I feel bad for, journalists.
Or the guy that's got to go to court and stand in front of the judge and tell a story. Which one is this, Your Honor?
Hold on a sec. What am I being charged with? The other fucking problem is, outside of football, all he does is court. Yeah. It's his second job. Right. He should really become a lawyer and just get paid to go there because he's going to be there anyway. While I'm there, I got a case. I got to defend a guy at 12:30. Fuck it. Mine's up at 10 and then he's up at 12:30. So February 19th, 2007. This is when shit starts to really go off the rails. This is when it's not fun and games anymore. He is at the Minx, which is a strip club in Vegas with 2 X's. Yeah. The Minx.
Oh, okay.
And apparently there is a Houston strip club that's renting out this strip club for their private strip club event. Okay. Which is like they made themselves like a pop-up strip club in another existing strip club.
Well, what the fuck is that? How does that even work?
I'm bringing in my tits.
Right.
Your tits have to leave for the day.
Get your tits out of here. Time's up.
I'm renting this titty fucking...
Titty fucking? No. Jesus, James. This titty establishment is mine now. How does that work with the fucking booze? I was going to
say I couldn't get the word viewing out. I was going to say this titty viewing establishment was what I was going to get at. Is now belongs to me as I am paying a rent. I didn't quite get it out. So
but how do they deal with like the liquor license? And there's so much going on there. And then also
it's Nevada as far as liquor license goes. You're allowed to sell glasses of scotch to people on the sidewalk. So I don't know what the liquor licenses are there. You need a cardboard sign that says booze, and you have to clearly state a price. I feel like, and then you're within all the liquor laws. That's it. That's all it is. It doesn't even really have to be booze.
Right.
It could be speed, piss. Doesn't matter. So there's an altercation here with an exotic dancer.
Oh, God.
With a dancer at the strip club. Now, Jones here, Pacman's hanging out with Nelly, the rapper.
Yeah.
As we all remember Nelly. And if you don't, you're very lucky that you weren't around for that terrible.
What year is this? 2007?
2007. Nelly is on the wane.
Yeah, this is on the way out.
Yeah,
for sure.
This is not.
It's almost done.
It's all just about over with it. So
we're all forgetting about Band-Aids.
Yeah, he's like, play my shit, and they're like, nah, it's old. They don't want to dance to that anymore.
Play your shit. What? Yeah. And the Beach Boys tonight? You want both of those?
Yeah, no. What else are you looking to get? We're not doing it. We're not. Fuck that. So, no Buddy Holly either. Sorry, guy. So, there's another guy there named Richard Rash. I don't know who that is. Or Richard Rich.
Okay. Oh, Richie Rich.
Richard.
Rapper.
They have him listed as Richard.
Richard? Really?
Richard Rich.
Okay.
I don't know what that's about.
It's better that it's
the rapper. Yeah. I know
it's better that it's Richie Rich rather than Richard Rash, because
Richard
that
Rash is a
Dick Rash.
Dick Rash. That sounds like a motocross rider anyway. Richard Rash. Yeah, Dick Rash, that's right. Apparently...
So Richie Rich and Nelly are with him.
They are throwing money there's all over the place. Yeah. And there was videos of this. Yeah. They're fucking throwing handfuls of dollar bills up at the stage. And they're doing their horse shit, make it rain shit, right?
Well, I can see Pacman Jones's mentality at this second, because I'm around the same age as him. Those two guys are heroes of mine in high school. Richie Rich and Nelly. This is a fucking dream come true. In 2007, I'm successful, and they're not anymore.
Well, they're still whatever. Yeah, they all have money, and they're having a good time here, which is fine. This is all fine. Huge. This is all fine. The problem is when the dancers begin to pick up the money, they become, Pacman in particular, becomes enraged at this. Well, and, he says that she was taking the money without his permission. Now, this is like here's some etiquette for you guys. This is like putting a letter in a mailbox. Yeah. Once you close it, it's not your letter anymore. No more. It now belongs to the post office and the person they're bringing it to. If you reach your arm in now you're the asshole, even though that you just wrote that. Right. When you throw money at a naked woman, when that money crests to the ground and lands, that is her money.
I'll go much further than that.
That is not your money anymore.
It leaves your hand.
You
have now made a motion of giving
not
it
your
away.
Money anymore.
It's gone.
It's gone. Once the money leaves your hand, it's gone. It's theirs now.
You may as well have lit it on fire.
It's all theirs.
It's all gone.
You've paid them money now. You can't take that back.
You have made your transaction. You now get to see titties and probably do some things, depending on how much you throw at them, probably do things. You probably have a little more liberty than most guys in a strip club.
You're a football player. You're with Nelly, too. You could probably try
to Rich is there.
Get these girls to hang out after. They're trying to pick these girls up, and that's what happens a lot with athletes. They try to get these girls to then do other shit afterwards and stuff like that. So, So this right away, what she is doing, the dancer, completely reasonable.
Yeah, she's cashing her paycheck.
I was going to say, she's taking the pay for her work that she just did. So very reasonable. What he does, very unreasonable. He, as she's bending down to pick the money up, grabs her by the hair and slams her head down on the stage.
Oh, what the fuck?
Saying, that's my money, bitch. Fucking, blah, blah, blah. So he says he was just throwing it for show. It was just for show. It was for fun to throw it up, but then I'm going to take most of it back, and then you can have a few bucks.
How about you keep your ass at home and throw that shit in your living room then?
That's not how it works. That's why it's when you anybody could just do that then. The whole point is when you're throwing money away, you must really be rich because you're throwing money away. That's the point.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, otherwise you're taking it back, then you didn't throw it. That's crazy.
What the shit is happening?
I made her dinner, but I just wanted her to smell it. She tried to take a bite. I fucking stabbed her. There's nothing else I could have done. I mean, it's my food. I made it. Sure, I put it on a plate in front of her with a napkin and a fork and shit, but no, fuck that. So
I put gas in her gas tank. She started driving. I was like, bitch, that's my gas.
My gas.
What are you doing?
So I drowned her in it. It's like, what are you doing? So, yeah, he slams her head on the stage.
Right.
A security guard then, as they will do in a strip club, you can't, like, touch women.
That's the other part.
If you slam one into the stage,
right,
those dudes get upset.
Listen.
Rightfully so.
Brush a nipple and see how fast you don't get tossed out.
That's
you assault a woman?
You slam her head on the floor, you should be tossed out.
Yeah.
He intervenes, and there's also Pacman's got an entourage. There's 10 people with them. So there's half a dozen people. The security guard is, fighting all with them. This is at this point where Pacman threatens the security guard's life and says he'll kill him and all this shit, which you can't scream out.
No.
During this time, the Mitchell, who was the one guy he was with, and another friend of his, left the club with a garbage bag filled with $81,020 and 2 Breitling watches, very expensive watches, which the police ended up getting later on. But they were robbing the place while this was going on.
Wow.
When a melee happened, they said, let's rob this motherfucker.
Pick it up.
That quick. They were like, well, this is a perfect time to rob the fucking strip club. Yeah. Everybody's distracted. This doesn't happen often.
Meanwhile, this is 2007. He is 24 years old.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
He's 24. He's been arrested a lot.
That's when his dad died.
That's when his dad died.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah. Now, after the rest of the customers left following all this shit, the club owner then says that a person that was with Pacman earlier returns to the club and fires a gun into the crowd.
Good Lord.
Of people there, damaging equipment and also hitting 3 people, including a security guard. The guard was shot twice, and one of the people who was hit was this guy Tom Urbanski. He actually was a kind of an indie professional wrestler for a while. He's paralyzed from the waist down from this incident, and now Pacman says he didn't know the shooter. He doesn't know shit. I don't know what you're talking about. And the club's owner says, no. They came in together and were hanging out and partying together earlier. So he at least knows who it is. Yeah. He was hanging out with him then.
Was that the bouncer that he threatened earlier too?
That's not clear exactly.
I want it to be the same guy. Then it's
even if it is, it was
cut and dry.
It's cut and dry. It was fired into a crowd, and the club owner here says that's the guy from earlier. Okay. Like it was a record. It was he ID'd the guy as earlier. So March 1st, 2001, charges are finally filed, by the way, for the 2006 obstruction of justice charge. Yeah. Then, or March 1st, 2007. This is 2 weeks after the strip club incident here. Now, March 26, 2007, the Las Vegas Police Department recommends to the city attorney that Pacman be charged with 1 count of felony coercion, 1 misdemeanor count of battery, and 1 misdemeanor count of threat to life. As we'll talk about here. Now, apparently there was several people in the case were given $15,000 each by Pacman. So that's where the coercion charge, we feel like, comes in.
Okay.
Where he was trying
so
to,
it's like bribery for
they're trying to say like he's trying to pay off witnesses, basically, to say that he doesn't know this guy and that guy he just came in separately. We don't know him. And then the battery for slamming a stripper's head into a fucking
you
stage.
can't do that.
And you can't threaten the life of a security guard either. So
right.
None of that stuff's okay. Also after this, they arrested a drug dealer named Daryl Jerome Moore, and there's wiretapped conversations between Moore and his friends that revealed Moore talking about how Pacman bet on college football games to earn quick money. So while he was doing it now.
Okay.
So this is what they're talking about on wiretaps, this drug dealer talking to his friends about that he basically takes bets for Pacman on college games, which if you're an NFL player, I don't think you're allowed to bet on college football. Probably not. And he says, quote, I was talking to him the other day about smoking, and he was like, man, if I didn't smoke, I couldn't take all the stress of what I'm dealing with right now. So he's saying that Pacman likes to smoke weed. Yeah. So who cares about that? But more concerned with the gambling. Yeah. Not that I give a shit either, but I don't care personally. The league tends to give a fuck. Yeah. So May 7th, 2007. What do you think he did?
Assault.
Opened a children's Opened a youth center.
Yeah.
And all for the kids. No, he stopped at 12:45 a.m. on Interstate 65.
Drunken driving.
But he's headed down to Nashville. An officer clocks him at 79 and a 55.
Okay.
So he's driving the 2004 Cadillac with the Pacman.
Yeah.
He bought it at a police auction after it was seized.
He bought it back?
He bought it back at a police auction.
Wow.
So that motherfucker bought that car twice.
Yeah, he did.
He paid for it, had it seized,
caddy.
bought it back. Well, he already got his name stitched in the headrest, so he's going to
got to keep it.
Kind of got to keep it.
Well, if somebody buys it, they can frame me now.
Yeah, that's the problem. They're going to say, Pac-Man. See, Pac-Man did it. So, yeah, that's he bought it back, and he is pulled over in that car, given a nice speeding ticket. So that's good. He's getting back into the groove with that car. Good for him. June 18th, 2007, he is being sought by police for questioning after a shooting at an Atlanta strip club involving members of his entourage.
What?
According to police at the scene, he was not present and is not being charged, but these were people that he was seen with earlier in the night, and they're trying to, he's kind of just a witness type of thing. They want him to rat on people and say who was with who, basically. Now, June 20th, 2007, the Las Vegas Police Department announces that Jones will face 2 felony charges stemming from the strip club melee. He will surrender to authorities, and he has 2 felony charges, like we were talking about here. He has to turn himself into this. They said that the arrangements for him to surrender, they were going like back and forth trying to figure out the day, because he's not going to show up on time. He's just going to, when? Friday? I don't know. I'll be there like Saturday night.
Be there when I can.
When I get there. I got to stop at a strip club on the way. It takes a while. I got to slam their heads into the ground and collect all my money. So, yeah, they said that that he has to turn himself in. Also, they described another guy that has to turn himself in who is his bodyguard and another member of his entourage. Basically, he has to get everybody to do this for this deal to work out here. So he's been arrested like 5 times since he's been drafted so far. Hasn't been convicted of anything yet, though. So
no.
There's that.
Contract's still in.
That's
it's still fine.
That's the thing. He's also been quite, in a bunch of police investigations for shootings and everything else here. Titans owner, Bud Adams, he issued a few statements about this, and because now Jones is going to end up with a suspension, as we'll talk about here, because he's facing 2 counts of felony coercion and threatening to kill a person. So, the coercion is the act of threatening or physically interfering while a person is trying to do something that he or she has the right and responsibility to do. So I was wrong. That was him getting in the way of the security guard doing his job, basically.
Is that, okay. Yeah. I guess.
That's the coercion charge. If convicted, he faces a maximum of 12 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. So the fine probably not that as much as a concern as the prison, 12 years. So his lawyer said, quote, "We're looking forward to vigorously defending against the charges," obviously here. So, there's also now they take to the media with it, and his lawyers accuse the county of leaking shit to embarrass him because he's a celebrity. And basically, anytime you're a famous person, you get arrested, you go on the offensive like a politician does, because that's what you're doing. You're making a case. So they go on the attack of the regular people. Can't do that because they don't have the money to have their lawyer go talk to the press. If you get arrested, your lawyer, no one cares. No one gives a shit. No. So it's not. But if he gets arrested, they can attack back.
Everybody gives a shit.
Yeah. They say, his lawyer says, quote, "Police keep saying they want to treat him like everybody else. It's infuriating. He isn't being treated like everyone else. We will do whatever we have to protect Adam." It's not being treated like everybody else. No, regular people don't get told you can turn yourself in on Friday or Monday. They just go get you. That's how police work usually. They go get you. That's it. You don't have a choice of Friday or Monday. When's a good time to pick you up? They just knock on the door, and then they'll break it down if you don't answer it. So, Now, this lawyer also represents one of the other guys in this case as well. It's here. So they don't name, the weird thing is they don't name, no shooter is named in this whole thing. Nobody names a shooter. So that all just kind of goes by the wayside of like, no one's going to pay for that because none of these guys will talk about it, and that's it. So they don't have anything to do. All they have to do is charge everyone with assault and shit like that. So, so he's just threatened with, basically, he's charged with threatening people and all this, and he's still identified as his friends of his or persons of interest in the shooting, but nothing that will involve Pacman here beyond that. Later on, there'll be a financial settlement we'll talk about, though.
From that?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Those people are going to sue.
Oh, I imagine.
And,
the guy that can't walk anymore?
Oh, he's got a lawsuit pending. Yeah. We'll talk about it now. Now, June 25th, 2007, Tommy Urbanski, the guy who's paralyzed, and his wife, Kathy, they sue Pacman in civil court, claiming that Pacman bit his left ankle and was responsible for the shooting. Huh. So I don't know what goes on there, the left ankle. It also names the Tennessee Titans and the NFL as defendants on the grounds that Jones's employers knew of his erratic behavior prior to this incident but did not suspend him until afterwards. So basically accusing them of silver-haired middle-aged white menism. Yeah. You silver-haired him and let him do this. Yeah. So they said had the Titans suspended him prior to this, it was NBA All-Star Game weekend, he wouldn't have been invited to the Las Vegas event, and then he wouldn't have been there.
Interesting.
So they go all the way there. They're taking it back a couple steps, but makes sense. Yeah. I mean, why not? Sue everybody. Fuck it. Who cares? Yeah. Got this asshole. You can't walk. Right. And he's going to play football.
And a few more people have deeper pockets than this guy.
That's the thing.
If they're responsible for him, they're responsible for his behavior.
Give it a shot. So 2007 season, he does not play because he is suspended. Mm-hmm. So what's he going to do? Mm-hmm. He announces that he will be collaborating on a hip-hop album.
Of course he is.
Of course he is.
Him and Richie Rich.
He's got a group called the Poster Boys. With Z.
Yeah.
Obviously. And they release a single called Let It Shine on their MySpace page. Yes, that's on their MySpace page. That was only 12 years ago.
Wow.
But it seems like
it seems like eternity.
It seems like you said, it seems like you said, give me Rockford 4132. No, operator, connect me. We might as well have said that.
Wow.
It's fucking ridiculous.
So that was the end of MySpace, though.
Oh, it was dying right there.
They didn't realize it yet.
Yeah, a year later.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake was involved already. This shit is almost done.
A year later, it was totally done. Facebook had taken over.
The housing crisis took MySpace down.
Thank fuck. Hey, one good thing happened out of the housing crisis. You could read the backgrounds on people's shit now because no one else could on there. Right. So June 30th, 2007, it is reported that he's working out a deal with Total Nonstop Action Wrestling.
What?
The shit wrestling. Yeah. The TNA sucks a dick. I'm sorry if anybody who's a TNA fan, but that shit is unwatchable. It's fucking terrible. I want an alternative too, but that's not it, guys. I'm sorry. It's a piece of shit. It always was. It always was.
And so that's where he was working out a gimmick for, was with them?
He's trying to get some shit with them, yeah. The Titans coach, Jeff Fisher, said that his contract said he couldn't wrestle, but the negotiations were for a non-wrestling role. Just to come out and be an asshole. Maybe get arrested and scuffle with a security guard.
He slam a woman's head into the ground.
That's all. On August 6th, a week later, TNA confirms the deal is signed. It's signed here. Jones says that he does intend to wrestle, though, as part of a tag team. Now, after some of this legal shit, basically he's in a non-physical role, but they're going to pretend like he's going to wrestle. They're going to send him out there like he's going to be in a fight, but then he won't be. It'll take place around him.
You're
type of shit.
This is a piece of shit.
It's a piece of shit move. That's why TNA sucks. Yeah. The WWE back then or now or whatever, I don't think they would have done that. No. Whenever they had a celebrity, they had to play Tyson and Austin. They pulled them apart, and Mr. T was in a match back in the day, even though he was terrible at it.
2007, Sable would have fucking body slammed him.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That would have been great.
So he does make his debut. He's placed into a tag team. It's Team Pacman with Ron Killings, and that'll keep going on for a minute here. August of 2007, he does an interview. And this is golden. You know what? We need an in their own words here for this. It's been a couple episodes since we did an in their own words because honestly, I want to see if people would notice, and nobody does. So it doesn't fucking matter. But this one's good, and I have to do it anyway.
Okay.
In their own words, quote, "Everybody keeps saying I've been arrested 6 times. I haven't been arrested 6 times. I've only been arrested twice. I've been accused and people have put out warrants on me numerous other times. But as of today, I'm on no probation. I haven't been charged with anything. So I'll just be keeping my head up and make sure I'm doing everything to make sure I'm all right with myself. I'm good now. I've only 6 times.
That's a lot of excuses.
Okay. You've listened to the episode so far. Did he get arrested twice?
No. But also more than that.
And then times 3, I think.
I think so.
So he also says, quote, I pick up the wrestling thing. Now you don't want me to wrestle. I don't know what you all want me to do. Just sit in the house and be miserable all day? I can't do that. I have to keep my spirits high. I have a whole family to take care of. So, yeah, I have to make money because I'm suspended.
All right.
So then he does a real sports interview with Brian Gumbel, and he says that in this thing, about the Vegas thing, he's totally innocent. He never hit the stripper. Wow. He never told the bouncer he was going to kill him. He was shocked and horrified by the melee surrounding him. He basically said, I went there because I thought this was a nice place. I was in the mood for like a broiled chicken sandwich, and they said, this is a very good place for that. So I said, this looks wonderful. I said, oh my, this young lady's taking her clothes off. The next thing I knew, or all around me, was just a bunch of thugs. I'll be honest with you. I'm going to call them what they were. They were thugs, mister. They were thugs, and there was things flying around, and people were making threats and punches being thrown. And I said, young lady, run in the back. Save yourself. Save yourself. And it was crazy. And Brian Gumbel said, motherfucker, what the hell are you talking about? He got Brian Gumbel to say that. That's amazing. That never happens.
He got Brian Gumbel to black it out.
It never happens. Brian Gumbel called him the N-word and said, get the fuck off my set. I will give you the back of my hand, bitch. And he fucking just shunted him off the stage.
Brian Gumbel will slap the taste out of your mouth.
Brian Gumbel will smack the shit out your Pacman, man. Get the fuck off my stage before I come over there. Put a foot up your fucking ass.
Did you say you were there for the buffet? What are you talking about?
No, not the buffet. I heard this was a place for a good sit-down lunch, is what I was saying. There's a lot of fast food on the strip. I was trying to get something healthy. I heard a broiled chicken sandwich. They put arugula on it. I like arugula. I said, this is going to be wonderful. A 7-grain bread. I thought it was going to be perfect.
and then a fracas.
Next thing you know, a fracas all around me. It's crazy. I don't know what happened, but it was like, I'm like, this young lady, your nipple is showing, and then, oh my goodness, and then her vagina was out. It was crazy. And then the next thing you know,
I was really starting to enjoy myself.
I said, this is the best chicken sandwich I've ever had in my damn life. They were right about this. Arugula. Let me tell you something.
Arugula loving Pacman Jones is my favorite man ever.
He's great.
Arugula connoisseur Pacman Jones.
I love Arugula connoisseur Pacman Jones. That'd be a good character. Yeah. Arugula connoisseur Pacman Jones. And I was just looking for some arugula, and I noticed that you have been a complete asshole. I love arugula. He didn't realize that there was a bush over the sign.
No.
He just saw arugula. He didn't realize it was called arugula and vaginas. He didn't understand. He didn't see half of it. He missed the other half, which is the worst strip club in all of Las Vegas.
It's called Darugula's Pussy and More.
Yeah, Pussy and More. Pussy and More.
It's a D with an apostrophe.
And in more.
Right.
Pussy and More.
Darugula's Pussy.
There's like a car wash on the side. That's the and more. And a hell of a broiled chicken sandwich. It was wonderful. It had spices on it that I didn't expect. There was dill, I think, in the mayo.
So much flavor.
It was wonderful. So, they asked him about his friend Daryl Moore, who was the drug dealer that said he was gambling and all that kind of shit. And Pacman says that he didn't know that Moore was a drug dealer. And the fact that he is, he then said, this is amazing. This is arugula.
I thought he was selling me arugula.
This is what he says. He says, I did not know that Moore was a drug dealer, and I feel, quote, surprised and betrayed. Frankly, I trusted him as a friend.
I told him that salad was awfully dry.
I said, drugs, mister. I thought I felt funny after I ate that salad, and I said, mister, I don't know what kind of dressing you use, but I hope it wasn't alcohol-based, because I am pure as the driven snow. I'm surprised and betrayed. How dare people hang out with me and deal drugs on the side? You hang out with Pacman, you're clean, mister.
Holy shit.
Get you some Ovaltine.
I hope Pacman Jones hears this. This is so much fun.
I do too. I wish that's what he was like in real life too.
I really do.
Darn it!
Gosh darn it!
I wish he did all this crazy shit, but then when really he was just like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I go out and I try to have a good time. A couple of my lady. We have a couple of other couples, nice young people that we've been associating with socially, and we go out for a nice evening, maybe a little dancing, a little dinner, something like that. And a melee.
We just like to go out and talk politics and religion and just really relax.
We're really, this is the thing. We're interested in the causes. Because, I mean, anybody can sit around and say, yes, the inner city has its troubles. And yes, the rural problem with the opioid problem. And then you got to think about it, though. What is the causation of that? And we sit back and we have a geopolitical discussion about it over some arugula.
Yeah.
Hurt and betrayed. So,
incredible.
September 9th, 2007, Team Pacman defeats Sting and Kurt Angle to become the tag team champ. Yeah, those are two. Okay. Sting's been around since the mid-'80s as far as like pro wrestling goes. He's a fucking legend and all this type of shit. And Kurt Angle actually is an Olympic gold medalist that could twist any three of these people in a fucking pretzel in 2 seconds.
So you guys find
any three of these people that he's in the ring with. And the other guy and fucking Pacman, who's not even wrestling, win the titles. It was ridiculous. Stupid. That's why TNA sucked. Still does. They defend the titles against the Dudleys, or Team 3D they were at the time there. It's so, I'm not even going to fucking talk about it. It's just so fucking stupid. It's just so stupid, TNA, and I refuse. God damn it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. So November 13th, 2007, Pacman accepts a plea deal. Here, he is to plead no contest to one charge of conspiracy to commit disorderly conduct, which is a misdemeanor. I don't remember which incident this is from.
No. It's too many incidents.
It's what I mean. It's not the strip club. I don't know what it is. He is given a... Oh, no, this is the strip club.
The second one, right?
This is the second... Yeah. No, this is the... This is the incident here. Yeah. Okay. This is another one here. He's given a suspended prison sentence of 1 year probation and ordered to perform 200 hours of community service. Okay. That's the Vegas thing.
Okay.
That's Vegas. Okay. That's his plea deal there. Now, January 15th, 2008. So 2 months later, he is accused of hitting a woman in a strip club in Atlanta.
My God, Pacman. 3 times?
I'm telling you. Every one of these establishments I go into, I'm just looking for a nice broiled chicken sandwich, damn it. I want a nice oat bread and a 12 grain, a 7 grain, multiple grains. And every time women start taking their clothes off and then there's violence. I don't understand it. I'm just trying to eat I have a mouthful of food. How can I fight anyone?
And I said, bitch, where's the arugula?
I said, bitch, there's no arugula on here. She didn't know what arugula was, so I gave her the back of my hand like a gentleman. That'll teach her.
Now she knows.
Guess what she knows now? That's right. Damn it. So he was got a bow tie in when he goes in there. So this woman here is Wanda S. Jackson, and she's seeking an arrest warrant for this assault here. And the Fulton County magistrate said that she asked for a warrant after the incident at the Body Tap Strip Club.
Hell yeah.
Which sounds like a fine chicken sandwich.
Great.
No, Jesus Christ. Her attorney says in the filing that the club's office was angry that Jesus Christ, that an angry Jones accused managers of stealing his money and bracelet.
Okay.
He goes places, accuses people of stealing shit that they didn't steal, and then beats them up
beats the hell out of it. Right.
Yeah. She says, quote, I was sitting in the office and he lunged at me numerous times in an effort to do grave bodily harm. Veronica Jones, an owner, went into the hall to deal with a member of his entourage. I followed to gawk. He was in the hall, surprisingly reached over or around a security guard and sucker punched me in my left eye.
Wow.
Around a security guard. I want to hit that bitch. Pow. Yeah. That's...
In her left eye.
She forgot my arugula. Let me at her. Let me at her, mister. You get out. You step aside, sir. I have got a problem with this particular woman. You're not, sir, this is none of your concern.
I wonder, was it a right that he threw a nasty haymaker?
I'll ask you kindly to step aside. I don't know. It's got to be like a hook, around a guy, because it's because he's not going over a security guard.
Left eye, so is she on that side?
It's got to be a right.
It's a right around and
maybe
hit there, or is she on the other side and he throws a nasty haymaker?
Fuck, we don't know.
To,
who
swing
knows?
Around?
He whacked her though. Sucker punched me in my left eye. She told police the next day that she was at the club because she was handling this is so weird. She said that she was at the club because she was handling a divorce case, because she's an attorney, this woman, this Wanda Jackson. She's not a dancer.
Okay.
That's the thing. He's not accused of hitting a stripper. He's accused of hitting an attorney who was at a strip club.
My word.
Who was in the office.
Yeah.
She wasn't involved. It's the wrong person to hit at the club. club, first of all. Don't hit anybody, but especially no one who went to law school.
But a girl that knows the law?
Yeah, one who passed the bar, probably not that.
You're in a smidge of trouble, sir.
That's when instead of just saying, he hit me, they go, in an effort to do grave bodily harm.
That's what I was wondering earlier. I was like, how the fuck did she learn that?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So apparently it was bruising around her left eye and all this type of shit. Mm-hmm. So, April 21st, 2008, a document reveals that Pacman paid $15,000 each to various people involved in the Las Vegas shooting. So this is what I mean.
He's giving 50 each?
15 to basically his entourage.
Got it.
You weren't there, right?
No.
I wasn't. Who was there? Not Pacman. Okay, then. That's kind of the thought. April 27, 2008. Still plays football, by the way.
Wow.
He's only played 2 seasons of football. He's traded by the Titans to the Cowboys for a 4th-round draft pick, who ended up being Lavelle Hawkins. Mm-hmm. So not a good trade. Yeah. Jones also reaches a financial settlement with the Titans regarding his contract, where he agrees to pay $500,000 to a charity chosen by the Titans over the next 2 years, and that'll settle it. He signs a 4-year contract that includes an annual roster bonus that was structured to protect Dallas if he makes more on-field mistakes. So his bonuses come when the season starts and he makes the team, and they haven't cut him because he's punched a stripper in the face. Right. That's how that goes.
How about this, though? I remember him going to the Cowboys, and that was a big... He's played 2 seasons,
talented,
and everybody knows who he is. He's one of the most famous DBs in the fucking...
Well, yeah, he was on TV more than Peyton fucking Manning, only not on Papa John's commercials. Right. He was on TMZ.
On 2020.
On 2020, and Jesus Christ,
on the first FBI
most wanted list. First 48, it's always in Nashville. There you go. So April 24th of 2008, Jim Brown, Hall of Famer and, icon Jim Brown, announced that he offered his support to help Pacman while in Dallas.
Why would he do that?
Because he wants to try to help him here. Apparently also, Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders also express willingness to try to help
Oh, you don't want those.
Don't hang around
Don't
Deion.
do that.
Well,
don't hang around either of them.
Neither of them are in prison, though.
Yeah,
He's like, hey, listen, we got acquitted of everything. We'll show you how to do that shit. So, June of 2008, he decides that he only wants to be known as Adam Jones or Mr. Jones. No more Pacman. Good now. No more Pacman. Now I'm going to be Mr. Jones, Adam Jones. No more Pacman. This will separate me.
Post 96, don't say Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones. No,
that song is horrible.
He says, though, this is an attempt to separate himself from his troubled past, because that's what did it. It was the name the whole time. Weird. Yeah. You think it was punching strippers, but I guess it's not. So June 21st, 2008, the AP, Associated Press, reports that Pacman's $1.5 million home is currently in foreclosure.
What?
The home and 30 acres located in Nashville was sold on June 27th on the steps of the courthouse. So there's that. So lost his house. Yeah. That's why he was wrestling, because he needed fucking money. Yeah. 2008 with Dallas, he plays in 9 games, and we'll talk about that. He has a little bit of a problem with an injury and only plays in 9 games, so doesn't really do that much on the field. He is, though, on October 8th, 2008, involved in an altercation with his own bodyguards.
What?
Now, I don't know if you remember this, Dallas... Part of the deal of this is what Dallas always does. Whenever they have troubled souls that they bring in, quote unquote, they send them out with bodyguards. Right. Like Des Bryant had bodyguards. Right. They do this so no one will fuck with them. And if anybody comes up and be like, "Hey, motherfucker," the bodyguards will get rid of him, and you don't have to punch him in the face.
Dallas's bodyguards, not his own.
Not his own. This is the Cowboys' body. This is like the Secret Service. Like they're telling you what you can do and what you can't do, and you're not really in control of the whole thing. So he is pissed off and gets in a fight with his own bodyguard. Okay. A physical altercation. There's no police report. No one's arrested or charged because their job is to keep him from getting arrested.
They put him in a kennel and took him back home.
That's it. Right. So they did that. Yeah, and a little cat one carrier. So he is suspended at this point, though, for a minimum of 4 games by the NFL for violating the league's personal conduct policy any number of times. Yeah. He also, at that point, enters an alcohol rehab center. Now, in a letter to Pacman, Roger Goodell called the Dallas incident a, quote, continuation of a, quote, disturbing pattern of behavior and clearly inconsistent with the conditions I set for your continued participation in the NFL. So, the Goodell suspends Adam Jones indefinitely here. He was just reinstated, as we know, before that. So, not good. They said they'll reconsider him once he undergoes treatment for alcohol and all that kind of shit. We'll check on him later. Let him marinate for a little while in there. So 2009, he doesn't play in the NFL again. He does try to play for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers of the Canadian Football League here. Oh, yeah. They agree in principle to a 1-year deal to play up there. The season runs July through November there. And so on September 2nd, though, they announced they're no longer interested in Jones after he made some remarks in a video calling the Canadian League the UFL, which is the failed football league. The other one.
He doesn't even know where he's going to play.
He doesn't even know where he's going. You cross a border. When you go through customs, you go, damn, this league's in another country? You'd notice it's the Canadian.
This league.
Wow, what a weird thing. Everyone's super polite. Some guy bumped into me and said sorry. Right. I don't understand it. Actually, he said sorry, but it's the same shit.
He said he was very sore about it.
Sorry about it. So the Blue Bombers here, they announced that they're no longer considering signing him. The coach, Mike Kelly, said, quote, "It's unfortunate that this situation became public. However, our position has remained consistent. We will pursue athletes that we believe will contribute to our organization on and off the field." Well, wrong guy there. "We have completed our assessment and due diligence, and at this time, we will not be pursuing the services of Adam Jones." Very professional. So February 12th, 2010, he works out with the Bengals, and the Bengals do not offer him a contract at that point. So then March 19th, he works out for NFL scouts in New Orleans, and 6 NFL teams attend this. I remember this. Like, oh, he's going to work out. We'll see if he can still do anything. He ran the 40 in 4.42 seconds.
How about that?
4.42 40 is fast.
Yeah.
That's wide receiver speed, like really good, fast wide receiver speed, or top-notch corner speed. So the guy hasn't even played, and he's still running that. But he's got fresh legs, too, is the other thing you look at. He hasn't been tackled in a while.
He's been running from the law, that's for sure.
His knees haven't been dinged up. Maybe his ego. I don't think so. I think his ego's fine. May 10th, 2010, he signs a 2-year deal with the Bengals and goes through the offseason and preseason with no incidents and makes the roster and everything like that here. So 2010, he's fine. He plays in 5 games for the Bengals, starts 1, returns a few punts, does that sort of thing. On October 26th, he sustains a serious neck injury and misses the rest of the season. So February 2011 is the official sentencing for Las Vegas shooting. 4 years this has taken. 4 years. And they say, you, sir, may fuck off. 1 year of probation. So that's it. That's all he gets.
Right.
He came into court wearing a neck brace. And,
sympathy.
He says, quote, "I'm happy I finally got everything behind me. This has been a long, long haul and has affected a lot of families. It's affected me personally."
Just like, you've been wearing that for 4 years?
Damn.
Jesus, son, I am so sorry.
Fuck, you must be all messed up. He then said that he was praying every day for the people who were hurt in the shooting. He said, "I'm trying to do whatever I have to do to come back to do to nothing that is close to this situation ever again. From now on, I make all my food at home.
I am growing my own arugula.
You should see my garden out back. It's gorgeous. Just gorgeous. I had a problem with weasels, though. You ever have a problem with the weasels? I think I got him now, but just a weird little guy that comes up with his little face.
Cincinnati weasels?
Just eating all my arugula. It's just, darn it, you get your little butt out of there, guy. And they're furry. They're kind of cute, so I don't want to poison them or anything. Just a weird situation. Anyway, back to what I was saying. He said, quote, and I use that voice because his next sentence is, quote, "Everything will be A-okay." And he actually said that. That's an actual quote. So that accent's it's just everything. My life is back in order and everything will be A-okay. It's going to be golly gee williker, smooth and cool and dandy. It's going to be keen.
Yeah.
So it's going to be gay.
Christ.
And I mean,
a gay old time.
A gay old time. He says that he's engaged to be married and that he no longer goes to strip clubs. Not at all.
Yeah.
He's done with everything. His attorney says he doesn't even go to any Cincinnati clubs. He's not going anywhere. He's a homebody from now on. Just
also because you got to go down to that old Kentucky to get to a nightclub.
Yeah, that's the other thing. July 8th, 2011, he is put in jail at 3 o'clock in the morning. So,
what was he doing at at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, they tore him from his bed while he was clutching his fiancée, snuggling tightly. They tore him right from the bed. It was tragic. So weird. No.
He was outside toiling in his garden?
Yeah, he was. These damn weasels. Jesus.
Up in the middle of the night.
A neighbor called the cops on him. He's like, I'm trying to dig the weasels up. I'm protecting my arugula. Go back to bed already. No one wants to hear from you, Mr. Jones. I'm Mr. Jones, and so are you. So, anyway.
Jesus Christ.
He is arrested on a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct. He is also accused of resisting arrest while intoxicated.
Yeah.
So,
where was he?
Goes. Not at home. Put it that way.
Probably in a nightclub.
At the bar.
Yeah.
So, July 11, 2011, 3 days later, he says that he was not even drinking when this happened. Doesn't know what they were talking about. He said he was out celebrating his wife's birthday. He said, I just had surgery, so why would I be resisting arrest? Why would you do any of the things you've done? I just threw that money down for the stripper. Why would I hit her head against the stage to take it back? I just did that. Why would I? There's anything you do, you could say that.
You punched a lawyer. You spat on a woman. All those equal the same as getting in an altercation on your wife's birthday.
That's
the same wild shit. Actually, you know what? That's more wild than getting in an altercation on your wife's birthday.
That's like OJ going, I had kids with that woman. Why would I kill her? And then expecting that dismisses it. Over now. No. So
it was at her house. Why would I stab her there? What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That's it, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah, he takes to Twitter to defend himself. Deion Sanders also defends him on Twitter.
Oh, Deion.
Deion said, quote, story ain't what you think on Twitter here. According to Deion, another woman punched Pacman's wife, but this woman wasn't questioned by the police at all. Instead, Pacman's wife was questioned, and Adam was upset that the other woman was allowed to walk away. So he apparently had to get involved.
Yeah.
And well, he said, I got to get to know this cop. I don't know him very well.
Haven't met this guy yet.
I don't know you. Hey, do you know? Oh shit, he's putting my hand behind my
sir,
back.
those are nice handcuffs.
Hey,
can we have a conversation?
Hey, listen. Excuse me, sir. He also continued over. Sanders said, quote, he said, y'all going to let her leave? They said, shut up. He repeated it. Then the police said, if you keep going, you're going to go to jail. He placed his arms behind his back and said, let's go. He had a neck brace on, people. Think about it. Apparently, the two officers said they had to restrain him and place him in handcuffs while he shouted profanities. That's their story. Pacman apologizes to Bengals fans. He said, the only thing I can do is be me and do what I'm supposed to do, but I was not yelling at the police. I did not yell profanity at the police, and at the end of the day, I'm the bad guy. Ridiculous. Again, absolutely uncalled for. It's unconscionable, damn it. I'm sorry. I said it. I'm sorry. I try to avoid these demonstrative terms. It's unconscionable, though. I can't take it anymore.
I'm being targeted by Big Arugula because I'm growing my own.
They don't want me to grow my own. And I said, I don't need your arugula, sir. So, Jesus Christ.
Big Arugula.
Big Arugula. They're out there. So they have a daughter at this point, him and his wife here.
Him and his punch-throwing wife?
Him and his punch-throwing wife.
Or punch-taking wife.
Apparently taking. They have a daughter named Trinity. She is born excessively premature.
Oh, no.
24 weeks. It's about halfway done.
Oh, boy.
So they told Bleacher Report that after they spent a month with the daughter at a hospital in Ohio, they finally were able to bring her home after a month. And, they're, quote, a medical association journal saying that about 1/3 of babies born at 23 weeks survive. So it's very touchy.
She's at 24.
She's at 24.
Oh,
so,
for fuck's sake.
So he says that he, quote, I do not take it for granted. You might think I'm just bullshitting with you, but I swear to God and to you, my girls are everything that I've got in the world. I love my mom to death. I love my wife too, but there's nothing that can separate me from my girls. Yeah. So it's good now.
Yeah. This
should wake him up.
Yeah.
You almost lost your daughter. Wake up call.
You got a daughter the size of an arugula leaf.
Yeah, barely.
She's just so tiny.
Smaller than a broiled chicken sandwich. So 2011 season, Cincinnati, he is placed on the physically unable to perform list on September 3rd and activated on October 28th. I think that has to do with his daughter and his neck, all that together. He comes back, plays in 8 games. He returns some kicks and that sort of shit. But that's about it. And he's playing for the Bengals, so who cares? January 15th, 2012, a jury orders, this is the civil case for the Las Vegas shooting.
Oh, boy.
A jury orders Pacman to pay $11.6 million to Urbanski and Aaron Cudworth, who was a bouncer who was also wounded for his role in the shooting. He says he plans to appeal.
Holy shit.
Should have done a you sir may fuck off. That hurts worse than a year in jail.
No doubt. And he only made 13.6
total.
That's
that was
all
cut
of it.
in half, too, because they didn't play all 4 years of the contract.
And there's 10% of that gone. And
he doesn't have 11 points.
that.
He doesn't have that liquid, I'll tell you. He lost his house for Christ. And it was a $1.5 million house. So if he couldn't pay for that.
10 times that?
10 times that.
Boy.
January 18th, he pleads guilty. This is 3 days later. So he's just like, I'll just hang out at court. Yeah. Is there a hotel right by the court? Because I don't feel like coming back.
Got a few dates lined up.
You know how it goes. It's a good Arugula farm down the way. He pleads guilty to a misdemeanor charge of disorderly conduct in Ohio here. This is a non-jury trial. It was a misdemeanor charge of resisting arrest. It's that whole thing here. He serves he's going to get a year of probation, 50 hours of community service, and a $250 fine plus court costs. He could have received a maximum sentence of 30 days in jail. So, yeah, he was shouting profanities and resisting arrest. So this was the neck brace resisting arrest incident. He says that he realized he apologized in court to the police for his conduct, and he realized that he, quote, could have handled the whole thing a lot better. Yeah. I'll tell you, listen, guy, that's just a lot better. The judge told him that he did not know how, quote, someone with your ability risks your career with this type of behavior.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, dumb fuck.
Yeah.
You know how much money you make? A lot more than me. And I wouldn't risk this.
No.
So you're stupid ass. Yeah. And I can do this till I'm 75. I'll be senile and I'll still be fucking sending people to prison. I won't even know where I'm sending them. I think I'm sending them to Candyland. It doesn't even matter, but I'll keep this fucking job. You got about 8 years before your ass is on the street.
So and that's just with athletic prowess.
Yeah.
If let's say you get hurt,
you're fucked.
It's over.
Yeah, didn't you just get a neck brace off of you?
Average is 3 years, bud. You're already pushing the boundary.
No shit. They keep saying that his attorney says that, the prosecutor said, quote, this is unprofessional behavior. He told Jones that if he wanted to be regarded as a professional, you need to act like one at all times. Yeah. That's what they told him. Bengals spokesman Jack Brennan said that Pacman, quote, handled this issue in a responsible manner, and we support both the legal system and his efforts to put this behind him. Silver-haired Jack Silver-hair Brennan here. The Bengals they're like, at least he didn't have a machine gun on him, like everyone else that gets arrested on our fucking team. Jesus. So March 13, 2012, he is declared a free agent. And then 10 days later, the Bengals re-sign him as an unrestricted free agent. Right. And he'll play there for years, as we know. Mm-hmm. Now, June 2012 is the appeal for the money judgment here. This is the Tommy Urbanski paralyzed guy here. Apparently, the Urbanski's his bones were shattered here. Now, he claims that Urbanski and this is civil court, so the legal precedents are a lot lower. The hurdles you have to jump over. He claims that the shooter is a guy that Jones paid $15,000 to.
Okay.
So that's what he claims, making Jones responsible, obviously, for this whole thing. Jones's lawyer said there's no evidence that Jones was behind the shooting. She says that, this is ridiculous, and he didn't have the cash to cover this because he won't receive the first paycheck of his season until even September. Mm-hmm. So he has nothing. His lawyer said, quote, it's obviously a devastating amount for him financially. He's worked really hard to make a comeback with his NFL career. He doesn't make enough money to pay that judgment. Now, there's that. Jesus Christ. She said people perceive him as a person who's able to pay $11 million. Adam doesn't even get paid until he plays his first game. And it's not for $11 million, by the way. Mm-hmm. So, this was also the Cudworth guy got $1.3 million, and then the other guy got the rest of it. So, this is fucking amazing here. So, they decide that, you know what? You're right. That was a harsh 11.5. That's a little much. How about 12.7? That's the shit. That's the problem when you appeal a thing like this. They went up on it.
Oh, Jesus.
So he ends up getting 12.7. Mm-hmm. And their lawyers said that the victim's lawyer said, quote, I'm pleased Mr. Jones has finally been held accountable. They said he wasn't worried about an appeal or his alleged inability to pay the award. The lawyer said, quote, if he's making money, I'm going to be there trying to collect it.
Oh, Jesus.
So he's got some shit to do. He also said they've got to clean up their acts, all of them, talking about everyone, all him and his entourage. 2012 season, he plays all 16 games, though. No interceptions, but does have a punt return for a touchdown. 2013 season, the Bengals re-sign him to a 3-year deal because he was 2012 was uneventful over the season. Didn't get arrested, played all 16 games. This year he plays in all 16 games again. Has 3 interceptions and a touchdown. So he's really coming into his own here. Until June of 2013, right before the season here. He's arrested on 1 count of assault for slapping a woman outside of a bar in Cincinnati.
Good Lord.
He's released on his own recognizance ahead of the court proceedings here. He says on Twitter, quote, just got arrested for protecting myself. I will not let this break me or change what I have worked so hard for. His agent said, quote, he hit a woman in the face after he thought she may have thrown a beer bottle at his head. There's video of this that I saw. It's surveillance video. It's real choppy because it's like not smooth, but she clearly throws a drink or something in his face and then he fucking hits her. That's what they're like. It's like a patio of a bar, and you know there's like a gate, like a fence that runs along, and there's tables inside, like a sidewalk cafe type thing, and everyone's drinking out there and smoking. And he comes from the sidewalk, and he's talking to some woman, and it's right away it's contentious. There's a problem because there's a woman sitting down, like right where he's yelling, and she gets up, and you see her move like, oh shit, there's some shit I don't want to be involved in. She gets up and looking back and forth, and then some other woman comes in, and then you see something. It's dark and shit, whatever. But something flew in his face, and then I think it was a beer, and then he hit her, and you just see her fall down.
Well, see, and that's the other part of like TMZ and these news sites that just talk about what happens in celebrities' lives, and it creates and promotes an environment when that person's out, people just think they can just say shit to him or do shit to him and bait him. Leave him the fuck alone. He's clearly a dangerous man.
Here's what you can do. You can not go to nightclubs if you're that guy. You can go, when I go out, people fuck with me. I'm going to stay home tonight. I'm going to have all my friends over here.
Clearly, he's a dangerous fucking guy. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to be the one that walks up to him and goes, Pacman Jones, you're an idiot.
Absolutely not. No. It's like the fucking Tom Segura joke there. Like, he's a frightening man. He really is. He's an angry dude. So,
and you get shot when you fuck with Pacman.
Well, at least get your head slammed into a stage when you collect money for services rendered. She had her tits out. She did her part. So I'm sorry.
She should really pick up some cash.
I would say so. September of 2013, he is arrested on a Monday morning from a Sunday night on disorderly conduct charges for making offensive comments to police while drunk at a traffic stop. He was the passenger in the vehicle that was being driven by his fiance at this point. She's being pulled over. This is Tishana is her name. It's the same woman. She's being pulled over by police for doing 60 and a 45. They're administering a field sobriety test on her, and Jones starts yelling at them. Apparently, officers reportedly, they asked just to take the breathalyzer. She refused, so she's cuffed for DUI. If you refuse the breathalyzer, they just take you in, and that's how it works.
We'll figure out another way.
That's right. He instead gets super angry and all pissed off and yells at the police until they go, you know what? We're taking you too. And so they arrest him. They're released apparently without bond, and they're supposed to both go to court together.
God damn it.
You know what, though? I will say this. Yeah. This is nice. Because a lot of times you see these professional athletes, and they're out, and they're doing shit, and they're not, their spouses aren't included. They're going to court together. Yeah. This is love. They're going to walk in hand. I'm sure they're going to share a lawyer, and they're going to have police accuse them, and then they're going to accuse the police of something else together. In a countersuit. It's going to be wonderfful.
I think that's the 5th anniversary.
It is.
Yeah, the silver bracelets.
That's always. So it's at this point where even Tishana is like, okay, look, we owe $12 million. Okay.
We owe more than we own.
We're never going to make that fucking money. We're going out and getting, every time we go out, someone's, whether it's Adam. Right. excuse me, whether it's your fault or not, every time you go out, I have to bail you out of jail.
Yeah.
And now I'm involved in this too, and you got arrested even though you didn't have to. So
every time the doorbell rings, I'm hoping it's Ed McMahon or not the police.
Every time a bell rings, Pac-Man gets handcuffed. That's what happens. It's like,
and there's no Ed McMahon with a big check.
It's a Terrible Life, it's called. It's a great movie. Every time a bell rings, Pac-Man gets some handcuffs. And it's just fucking, dragged away. So she lays down the law at this point and says, we're going to be homebodies from now on. Mm-hmm. We're going to yes, we've got a new house. It's not foreclosed on.
Right.
We're going to be homebodies. We're going to make ourselves comfortable. We're not going to go out and fuck around anymore. God damn it. I'm tired of this shit. We have a kid that almost died. Right. Let's get our heads out of our asses. And they do. They're going to redesign the whole thing. It's very nice. And then they're waiting one day. And who comes to redesign it? It's Dexter Manley, damn it. Interior designer from New York City. And he says, how is it you've come to arrive here? Right. Like, seriously, Arugula is delicious. I'm not going to lie to you at all. But this is, you are white trash. I'm sorry, you're white trash. Strip clubs, You're taking back your money at a strip club, robbing the places with garbage bags, yelling at police officers and punching women in the face. This is trailer behavior. Do you understand that? Do you understand? I realize that you had your house foreclosed on, and maybe you had to move into a trailer, but you don't have to take on the properties of a trailer person. And at this point, sir, you're white trash. I'm sorry. It's terrible. I'm embarrassed for you. That's the thing. Like, I come over and I can feel in the air there's a level of embarrassment that's just, it's seeping up. And is that a broiled chicken sandwich? That's delicious. Okay, I'm going to have that, and then I'm going to go now. And poof, in a poof of boa and arugula, feathered boa and arugula, he's gone. And Pac-Man was just about to punch him. Yeah. He was just about to throw a gay slur at him and punch him.
Is that a bitch?
And then he's like, where that motherfucker at? And then it didn't happen. So what he does is instead Pac-Man returns to wrestling.
What?
Because that's the smart thing.
This late? Really?
Yes. 2013, he returns to TNA Impact Wrestling.
Wow.
And apparently him and a defensive end that's from the Bengals practice squad were sitting in the front row, and they get into an altercation with a couple other guys.
For Christ's sake.
And they jump the guardrail, and they body slam the wrestlers in the ring. So Pac-Man body slams a man who does that for a living for some reason. July 5th, 2014, Pac-Man and Tishana Holmes get married.
Oh?
They get married. They'll have 3 children together total. They have 2 at this point in time. 2014, he plays in all 16 games, 3 interceptions, has a 97-yard kick return at one point.
Really?
Which is damn impressive. Makes first team All-Pro.
Wow.
That's the best.
In his 30s.
Yeah, that's not Pro Bowl where there's like 14 of you. There's like 2 first team All-Pro cornerbacks, and that's it. So he's one of them. Pretty impressive here. Great year for them. January 9th, 2015, the Nevada Supreme Court holds up the order for Jones to pay $11 million to Urbanski and $1.3 million to Aaron Cudworth, who was shot in the thing. So that is official.
Yeah.
That's appeal of an appeal.
Unbelievable.
Fuck off and pay these people $12 million. Wow. 2015, plays in 14 games, has 1 interception, makes the Pro Bowl that year. There's an issue in the playoffs. This is the year with they're playing the Steelers in the playoffs, and Joey Porter,
I remember this,
went from being a player to a coach. And in the fourth quarter, I guess, did he trip him or something?
Yeah.
And Jones got all up in his fucking business, up in his face, and there ended up being a penalty to Pac-Man for unsportsmanlike conduct, and the Bengals were leading 16-15.
God damn it!
But back-to-back penalties drawn by Jones and then Burfict too. After that,
Burfict's a fucking pain in the ass.
An idiot too. Yeah. That moved the Steelers into field goal range and allowed them to win the game 18-16.
And Cincinnati's curse continues.
And that's being a Cincinnati football fan, everybody. How's that feel? That's got to sting, huh?
Can you imagine?
Always pull defeat from the jaws of victory. It must be fucking exhausting every time. You're still seeing John Taylor catch that pass in the Super Bowl from Joe Montana. You're still seeing it as this is going on.
They close their eyes and blink and see that catch.
Oh, you know they do. He is Pacman's fined $28,940. It's eventually reduced to $12,500 after appeal, and Porter gets fined $10,000 for his act. He should have been on the field too. Get the fuck out of there.
You don't have pads on anymore, you fucking idiot.
This incident led to the creation of the Joey Porter rule, which prohibits assistant coaches from going onto the field. Only the head coach is allowed to wander onto the field, which makes sense. You can't have people, all that big swarm of people over there. March 9th, 2016, he signs a 3-year deal to remain with the Bengals. Pacman, not Joey Porter. Now, at one point, right after this, he's speaking in an interview about how much golf he plays.
Why is he doing that? Why is he talking about where he spends money? Don't talk about that, you idiot.
I don't know what
really
it is.
enjoy, they've got a nice arugula there on the 9th green.
Well, actually, it's what they do is in the clubhouse, the restaurant there, spectacular arugula. It's just wonderful. On top of that, it's a broiled chicken, I believe. It's not even a grilled, it's a broiled. So you get, it's just none of the juices. It's going to be very healthy. That's what I'm getting. Very low in saturated fats. They trim anything off of it. It's wonderful. After 18 holes, it's a refresher. It's a pick-me-up.
A nice spiced mayo.
It's a pesto, I think. I believe it's a basil, I think. And it's a pesto mayonnaise, which you don't get a lot. I'll be honest. It's not as popular as you'd think. I believe there's a dill, and that's what kicks it up. It's the dill.
You've got a very gangster black guy saying mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. It's the dill.
So good.
So they asked him if his wife ever, quote, cracks the whip in regard to all the golf he plays, and he says, I wouldn't say she has me on lockdown. No, she does have me on lockdown. I lied. And so he says, quote, she lets me get out on the course whenever I want, but you can't play every day. I mean, geez, there's other things to do. Quote, he actually says, but you can't play every day. That'll just be him from now on. Quote, she'll say, don't forget about me and the family. It's a love-hate relationship with golf, but I think she understands how much I care for the game. It relaxes me.
Jesus.
It relaxes me. I'm playing the stocks all week. You know how it goes in the office. I take the train home and I'm like, honey, it's just a brutal day. Just terrible.
You know, the other benefit about golf is that it makes my arms tired and I can't punch bitches.
It's when I throw money onto a stage and a woman goes to pick it up, my instinct is I should slam her face upon the stage, right? But then my arms are tired from all my golfing and arugula farming, and I say, you know what? She's earned it. Never mind. I let her have it. So 2016, he's golfing. He's playing for the Bengals. Plays in all 16 games. One interception here. January 3rd, 2017, he is arrested.
Oh, boy.
Though, I mean, let's not go crazy. He'll play in all 16 games, but he's going to get arrested. He's arrested in Cincinnati for obstructing official business, disorderly conduct, assault, and a felony charge of harassment with a bodily substance.
Fuck yeah. Wait, what?
With a bodily substance.
Spit or piss?
Let's see here. He yelled, cursed, and beat on a glass door at a motel.
Okay.
With an M.
Yeah.
No. He also assaulted a security guard by pushing and poking him in the eye.
What?
Police said that while...
fucking Three Stooges? What is he doing?
That's what's ridiculous. While he's being taken into custody, he put the hand up between the block of getting poked in the eye on himself.
Yeah.
He's smart. Not so fast, mister. That's what he said. Apparently, while he's being taken into custody, police say he refused to get into the car and assaulted an officer by kicking and headbutting him. Okay? There's a dash cam video of this, 20 minutes long, and of his transport. Also, you can hear him yelling, quote, suck my dick 11 times. Fuck you, bitch, at least 21 times from the back seat of the car.
What?
11 suck my dicks, 21 fuck you bitches.
He gets two fuck you bitches to everyone suck my dick.
Fuck you, bitch, suck my dick, fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch, suck my dick, fuck you, bitch.
Why does he need to say that so much?
That's what he... That's how he felt. It's in his heart, Jimmy. That's what I'm saying. I'm punching it in my chest. It's in his heart. He feels it. It's like, I really want you to suck my dick because you're a fucking bitch.
So fuck
you. I feel that shit. Then he told the officer, quote, I hope you die tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Because he didn't suck your dick?
You didn't suck my dick. Fuck you, bitch. So later on at the jail, while he's being processed, there is a jail nurse there, and he spit in her face.
Oh, Jesus.
Which you can't spit in the... This fucking poor woman works at a goddamn prison.
She makes $50,000 a year, and you're spitting
50?
on her? I mean, at best.
She ain't making 50 at a fucking Tennessee jail nurse. She's probably making like a school nurse. She probably makes $36,000 a year.
Oh,
she's dealing with these assholes. Half the people that come in are fucking homeless, and she's got to have gloves on and try not to get tuberculosis and everything else. And this dickhead spitting at her?
Spitting in her face. I'm sure it was her face,
Christ.
right?
I'm sure it was, yeah. Spit in the face of a jail, of the female jail nurse. So, May 15th, 2017, he accepts a plea agreement, Pacman does, pleading guilty to one count of obstructing a police officer. He received credit for time served, gets 2 days in jail.
Wow.
Just skating. That's why. It's like, who?
That's amazing.
Wow. 2017, July 21st, the NFL suspends Adam Jones for one game for violating the league's personal conduct policy.
Yeah.
They said, quote, while it is our understanding that the appropriate apologies have been made publicly, they do not completely negate your behavior and admission of culpability for the underlying act.
And he said, that's the appropriate, the punishment fits the crime.
He said, you know what, that's reasonable, sir. Sir, that's reasonable. Can I offer you a bundle of arugula as a peace offering?
You know what's fascinating about this, because it feels like each judge that's passing it on down the line is just giggling their ass off when they're like, you're gonna have to pay $12 million one day.
This dude's on the hook for $12 million.
He isn't going anywhere.
He's never going to do anything. He could work at McDonald's and he's going to be making like $2 an hour after they're done with it. He is fucked. So they lift his suspension September 12th, 2017. Plays in 9 games that year, has 1 interception. November 2017 has his first son.
Really?
He's got daughters up till now, has his first son.
No.
Adam Jr. You fucking bet your ass.
Why would you do that?
Of course it's Adam Jr. Of course it is. Because this is a great name to have in this world. You want to be, and what do they call him? Quote, Lil Pacman.
All right. I thought they were going to call him Pac Boy.
No, it's Pac Boy. So, yeah, I want him to have my stigma attached to him at all times. I don't want him to have a fresh start.
This poor fuck's going to have to be on the hook for my $12 million.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're constantly going to mix up the name.
Oh, he should have named him. He should have named him Arnold Penny Better the Fourth. Is what he should have named him. Nothing to do with me.
Should have named him Arugula.
Arugula fucking Jones, and they would have never known. Oh, they would have known. They'd have found out. Damn that Pacman and his
Arugula.
It's always a trail of arugula wherever there's a crime. He punched a woman in the face, ripped the necklace off the bouncer, and then police found him from a trail of arugula leading to a 4-star hotel up the street.
Should have named him with 2 middle names, and it should have been I Am Not
Pacman Jones' fucking kid. So, wow.
Incredible.
He hurts himself in December of 2017, and the Bengals place him on the IR. March 9th, 2018, the Bengals announced that they have declined the option in his contract for 2018, making him a free agent. July 8th, 2018, my goodness, he's at the Atlanta airport, which we've spent much time at lately. He's there. He is caught on tape exchanging words, as they put it, with an airport employee.
I think I've seen
a guy named...
that was there?
That was Atlanta Airport.
Holy shit, now it makes all the sense in the world.
Well, yeah.
I wanted to also, Pacman.
I totally get
that place.
I'm on his side here, 100. When you hear the incident, also, it's totally not his fault. Yeah. And anyone who's been in that fucking airport in Atlanta tried to get on the tram thing as everyone else is getting off, and you go, couldn't we do one side off, one side fucking on? Because then the doors are closed and I can't get on. In New York, they know how to get on and off fucking subway. Some here, some there. You don't just fucking plow out and then everyone else goes on the platform and goes, I guess they'll catch the next one.
Right.
No. Jesus Christ.
They got people at the Atlanta
fucking
airport
idiots.
just that work at the airport. They just walk down the line. They just shout orders at people and they're like, but which order is mine?
We don't know what you're talking about.
You're telling me go to Terminal B and I don't know where the fuck that is.
Where is that? Where's the train? Do you mean me or this fucking guy? What flight? What airline? Who are you? What's happening? Where's my arugula?
What fucking year is it?
So you know what happened. That's what ended up happening to Pacman. It's a guy named Frank Reagan, R-A-G-I-N. Apparently they get in an argument And Pacman does not start this shit. I don't know if he started the verbal shit, but apparently I watched the video, this Frank Reagan guy fucking shoves Pacman and takes a swing at him.
Oh.
Now Pacman's with a woman, and Pacman's like, oh, it's on now, motherfucker. And he puts down his Popeyes bag. He got a bag of Popeyes chicken.
I know where he got that from.
So do I.
I was at that gate.
He puts the Popeyes down and starts taking his backpack off. He's like, oh, no, I'm going to fuck this guy up quick. Never mind. No. No, sweetheart.
I'm surely doing this.
Honey, excuse me. Can you please hold my belongings while I thrash this gentleman? Thank you.
I'm on the hook for $11 million. I'm about to take it out on this fella.
I don't give a shit. So
I am perfectly within my rights. I already know.
Yeah, this guy fucking starts swinging on Pacman, so Pacman goes, all right, motherfucker, takes his shit off and comes at him, and Pacman he takes a couple of swings at him. I don't know when, you can't really see where he hit him, but he knocks him pretty fucking kooky for a second there. Knocks Frank Reagan on his fucking ass, and dude's sitting there like, what the fuck happened? And then Pacman comes over and pops him on the forehead again, like, bitch, stay down. This dude was big, too. He was a good 6'5". He was bigger than Pacman. And Pacman, though, was not having that shit. He was like, all right, the look on his face was like, I cannot wait.
I've been waiting years for this.
Finally, I'm not the instigator. Literally, you swung on me. I am going to fuck you up for real now, and I'm allowed.
Treat you like a Vegas stripper.
Thank you. Fuck yeah. He ended up, knocks him to the ground. One last punch there. Jones not arrested at all for his part in it because dude attacked him. It's all on film. Reagan, though, is charged with 2 counts of battery for fucking with Pacman.
Fuck yeah, he should.
And also, he declined medical attention for a facial laceration for being punched in the face.
Again, this show, not an example of it, but TMZ is fucking responsible for that kind of altercation. This guy recognizes Adam Pacman Jones and thinks, I can say whatever I want to him because everybody makes fun of him everywhere else.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't get to just take swings at people.
I'm in my basement. I'm not saying this shit to him.
I'm not walking up to him being like, listen to this, please.
Yeah, here, please listen to me mock you for 2 hours. That's not what I'm saying.
I have something to say about you.
I got something to say. So, later on, during his court appearance, this is amazing. His court appearance, this Reagan guy was emotional. He was in a wheelchair. He had broken his leg at some point here. He's in a wheelchair and he's burying his head in his hands crying. So Pacman posts a picture of it on Instagram of this guy at the table with his head down in a wheelchair. And it says, when you lost the fight, your job at your leg and you get found guilty. That moment you realize that you started it all.
Oh my God.
Which is totally warranted. This guy did all of this to himself, but it's also kind of fucked up. This guy's just some loser who worked at an airport and now he's fucking doesn't even work at an airport anymore. Now he's going to jail and he's got beat up by Pacman and everyone saw it on TMZ. I think that's enough for this guy. Frank Reagan's had enough, I would say. Let's leave Frank alone from now on.
He took his lumps and he got what he deserved.
He got plenty. 2018, August 26, 2018, the Denver Broncos sign old Pacman to a 1-year contract. He does play in 7 games for the Broncos and including an interception.
It doesn't matter.
And you were very disappointed.
They are terrible.
It didn't matter at all. And November 21st, 2018, the Denver Broncos cut Pacman Jones. He's done at this point. He's not a lot left in the tank here, but he hasn't officially retired up to this point in the story. February 26th, my God, 2019, he is arrested.
Oh, boy.
Obviously. Yeah. Otherwise, why would I say a date unless it's followed by he's arrested? He's like the Vernon Maxwell of football, this guy. It's fucking amazing. He's arrested in the middle of the night at the Rising Star Casino in Rising Sun, Indiana. Not the Rising Sun Casino, the Rising Star, because that would make it Japanese. Instead, it's the Rising Star Casino in Rising Sun, Indiana. It's weird. Indiana names their shit after other countries because we did Peru, Indiana. This is Rising Sun, Indiana. What the hell is going on, Indiana? Don't you have your own identity?
No.
They fucking break.
They don't want you to know what they're about. Yeah. That place is terrible.
That's true. They named half the shit after Larry Bird, the other half after Reggie Miller, and they're like, we're out of ideas. we had to rename everything we named after Bob Knight, so now we're fucked. We don't know what to do.
French lick. Everything's just nothing to do with here.
No. He's arrested in a casino for allegedly adding chips to his bets after he won games.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So he would try, if you can get away with it. If you're in a fucking alley somewhere.
That was $3 million.
If you're on a camera, I was $12.3 million is what I just won. Right? $12.3 million? You don't even pay me. Pay these other two people. I don't want to hear about it. I don't need it. It's for them. So you can't do that in a casino on camera. They tend to, casinos are really touchy about cheating and shit.
Right.
So now it's on a video. I can't tell if he's fucking doing it or not, but whatever. Him and his wife starts shooting another video here. Asked who accused him of cheating and what proof they had, basically. Like, why are you accusing me of cheating after they came over? What proof do you have? At this point, Pacman also cursed at the officers, calling one of them a, quote, bitch-ass N-word. Which is great.
That's his go-to, I'm sure.
Well, no, then he went back to his other go-tos. He's got a few hits that he likes to play. He's got his Hotel California that he's going to break out at every fucking show. He can't get away. He can't get away without playing it. Right. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things.
That's his bitch ass.
I'll play piano, man. Fine. Okay. He knows what it is. Start Me Up is coming. It's all right. So he calls him that. He then allegedly said, quote, I will kill you.
Oh, no.
To an Indiana Gaming Commission enforcement agent while being taken into custody. While he's doing that, he apparently tried to make a run for it when the gaming commission agents here handed him over to law enforcement. Once he was caught and subdued, he then said, quote, fuck you, suck my dick. So then he went back to his, so he's got three, I will kill you, fuck you, and suck my dick are his big ones.
Those are his homers.
He'll throw in a bitch ass N-word if it comes up. If he's feeling it that night, that's the thing. He's got to be feeling it. So
I bet you that's the racist thing that he said to that other guy.
That's not racist. Like I said.
Bitch ass N?
Not from him, it's not racist. No, that's like me calling a guy a fat guinea. Fuck you.
But it's
you
still,
fat guinea.
They said it was a racist comment. Yeah, I'm sure.
Bitch ass guinea. I could say that shit. You fat wop son of a bitch. Say all the shit I want. Yeah. But that, he can say that.
He certainly can. He's earned the right. Let him have it.
Go for it.
It's all yours.
So whatever.
I don't want it.
So in the video, he's telling his wife repeatedly to call 911 to get the cops there, which is a problem because she's on the phone filming it. So how can you call and film at the same time?
Oh.
That's an issue.
Yeah.
So, he's saying get the cops there, and he doesn't understand that the agents are legitimate, like, law enforcement officers that are within...
They're already here.
They're within their jurisdiction here, and he's like, get the cops. These rent-a-cops are taking me away. Type of thing here. He says, dial 911 right now. He says, he tells his wife, okay, call the police. The one guy says, quote, we are the police. and she says, no, we're going to call the city police. And then they argue a little bit more. And he says that he hasn't assaulted anybody. So why the fuck is he in handcuffs? They're like, well, when you get arrested, whatever. They don't release him. And that's when he becomes belligerent. He says, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Why are you touching me? They try to, get his handcuffs and they're trying to subdue him at this point here. Now they tell him to stop yelling, and his wife went on a tirade at this point about, quote, he can do what he wants and say what he wants. It's a First Amendment issue. She then says he didn't put his hands on nobody. He can say what he wants. It's called freedom of speech. That's what she says on the video exactly. It's called freedom of speech. He tells his wife, quote, call 911 on your phone right now. And his wife says that she already did. She's calling right now. Then you can hear somebody saying, I need someone up here ASAP. That's her on the phone. And then Pacman starts screaming over and over again, freedom of speech, freedom of speech, freedom of speech. Attica. He is screaming freedom of speech over and over again. Then he pauses and says, fuck you, bitch ass N-word, freedom of speech. That's how he ends it off. Fuck you, you bitch ass N-word, freedom of speech.
I am blown away.
This is amazing.
That he left suck my dick at home.
That was earlier. He's trying out new material now. He's in different order. He's like, what if I close with? What if I close with
freedom of speech?
What if I close with bitch ass N-word? I'll close with that rather than open with it, and then I can put a suck my dick in maybe later as like an encore. Because if they call me back out, I gotta have something. I'm gonna need some material. That's when I break out my suck my dick.
This is incredible. This was just recently.
This happened 6 months ago. Not even 5 months ago.
That's a man that owes $12 million.
Yeah, and he's at a casino. I'm gonna make it up. So they walk him back to the security office with his wife screaming at them and filming them the whole way. She insisted on following them to film the arrest on her cell phone. his wife said, quote, "We want to have him in our eyesight," is what she said. "I want to be able to see him." The agent said, quote, "There's cameras everywhere. Yeah. You're in a fucking casino.
You think there's a square inch of this motherfucker that we aren't watching?"
Everybody sees it. And so she then says, quote, "He needs to be in our eyesight. He needs to be in our eyesight, period. There's too many situations where the police are beating on people. He needs to be in our eyesight." So at one point, Jones turns and yells to an Agent Norton who's walking behind him and just says, "Bitch." And then he turns...
Maybe you don't want to videotape this.
Then he turns to another officer and says, quote, "You ain't shit. You ain't nothing but a bitch." So then there's that there. So he's taking...
You're in handcuffs, Mr. Jones.
You know how it goes. So then when the agents are handing him over to Ohio County Sheriff's deputy officers, he tries to make a run for it again. So this isn't a punt return,
no,
sir. These are the police, right. But he is tackled before he gets too far away. He continued to curse at the officers after he was captured, and then he closes it strong. See what I'm saying, Jimmy? He's a performer, if nothing else. This is the thing. You questioned he had material saved. He closes it with, as they tackle him and drag him away to jail, he says, quote, "Fuck you, suck my dick, you're a bunch of crackers." Closes it with, "Suck my dick, you bunch of fucking crackers."
Mic drop.
Boom. Suck my dick. "Fuck you, suck my dick, you're a bunch of fucking crackers." Mic drop. Suck it. What the fuck?
Incredible.
And then he turned to another officer just as a closer. This is like he was walking off stage and did like an aside to an audience member.
Told him I'm selling CDs.
He said, quote, "Suck my dick, N-word." Just as a closer.
Just in case you didn't hear that?
Because he's not a cracker. Right. He said, "Suck my dick, you're a bunch of crackers." And then he was like, "I didn't forget you." "Excuse me, sir. I didn't forget about you. I apologize. I only told them to suck you. Excuse me, N-word, you can suck my dick too. Thank you, pal. All right, have a good one."
You can suck it as well.
Yeah, so...
fucking real. That is a great night.
What a cherry on top right here. This is amazing here. His agent, Peter Schaefer, praised the manner in which Adam acted.
Yeah.
He said, quote, "Adam was very controlled."
What?
This is the yelling, "Suck my dick, crackers," while you run from police that are trying to hold you in custody and your wife screams, "Speed him of speech." That's not fucking overreacting at all. I feel like that is not controlled.
I wish I was there. And then when he gets arrested and thrown in a car, just going, "Was that really Pacman Jones?
What the fuck?
Did we just get to see that? Was that free?
Was that for real? was that the show?
Do I have to pay for this?
Did they hire him like they'd bring in Sammy Davis back in the day, or what the fuck, man? This is crazy.
Does a broiled chicken with arugula come with this show?
I want my chicken. I want it with arugula. I want my broiled chicken.
Unbelievable.
He says that Adam was quite very controlled. "We think the authorities overreacted. They love the attention. Adam showed great restraint." I think all he had to do, if he wasn't cheating, was go, "I don't know what you're talking about. Show me in the video." They would have looked at it and said, "See, I'm not cheating." And they would have went, "All right, sir, never mind." And they would have released him.
Right.
This is fucking nuts. He's charged with felony intimidation, felony battery against an officer, as well as misdemeanor charges of cheating at gambling, resisting law enforcement, and public intoxication. So it's 8 charges. He's pleading not guilty to all of them. If he didn't do all the shit he did, it would have just been minor cheating at gambling, and he could have said he wasn't cheating, and it would have whatever. But instead, he's got all this felony fucking battery against an officer. That's not good.
Bad.
That's bad. And intimidation here. March 21st, 2019, he accepts a plea agreement in 2 cases that include 9 felony and 5 misdemeanor charges stemming from the casino incident here. They had 5 additional counts of felony cheating at gambling were filed against him. And later that day, the 5 counts of cheating at gambling were dismissed as part of a plea deal. So he accepts the plea deal, and it is, "You, sir, may fuck off." It requires him to spend 10 days in jail.
Yeah.
10 days.
And never go to that casino again.
Well,
I'm sure of that.
I would hope not here, at least for the crackers involved.
Yeah.
While he's serving a probationary period that will also bar him from drinking booze for a year and a half.
Uh-oh.
This might be good for him.
Or it may come back to bite him in the
Or
ass.
it might be bad, yeah. Or maybe he'll just smoke a bunch of weed and chill the fuck out.
Hey, now.
He can also not possess a firearm or dangerous weapons without permission from his probation officer during that time frame. I'm gonna go ahead and go, anything you can you have what? No. No. A slingshot? No.
Absolutely not.
Sir, no.
No.
Can you
shoot
have
your eye out.
anything? You will a BB gun. You'll shoot your eye out like Ralphie.
Right.
You know, fucking icicle will hit you. You're doomed. No. So, and he's officially banned from the Rising Star Casino as well.
Yeah.
The agreement's not set in stone, though. All parties can appear in court. The judge has to sign off on it, but it's all agreed to.
Okay.
May 24, 2019, he announces his football retirement.
Oh, now you're done?
As if that was an issue.
Right.
Like, I'm announcing, no one wants you. Are you nuts? By the way, at the casino, he had a Broncos hat on.
Did he really?
Fuck yeah, he did all this in a fucking Broncos hat. I thought you would love that. He announces...
Why don't you retire from crime, you fucking dickhead?
Come on now. What's he going to do? What's he just going to sit in the house and be miserable? Remember what he said? He can't retire from that. Let's hear his retirement speech, shall we? Quote, "How do I start my next chapter? Well, I start by first turning the page and closing out one of the most thrilling chapters of my life, the Arugula period." No, that part's not true. A chapter that started as just a dream from a kid from Boat Rock, a dream that became a reality with the blessings of God Almighty, hard work, the dedication to not give up, and a village of prayer warriors surrounding me. I stand tall and proud as I announce that this beautiful, life-changing ride that has been the National Football League has come to an end. I'm officially hanging up my cleats with no regrets.
None?
To go Arugula farming. Yeah,
Not one?
No regrets.
Not
hanging them up.
Not one Vegas incident of regrets?
Maybe that.
Jesus. Fucking idiot.
He finishes his career with 146 games played. He had, let's see here, 17 career interceptions, not too shabby, returned 2 of them for touchdowns. He also had 5 punt return touchdowns career as well, which is pretty good, I would say. He's good at that. So that is his whole entire career. And guess what? His career, this is what I mean. It ebbed perfectly with us. His career, his crime, they even the whole time and right from the beginning. And can't get enough of Pacman Jones? Yeah. Well, you can follow him at RealPacman24 on Twitter. He has 134,000 followers.
He's doing great.
And he follows 51,000 though.
Oh, Jesus.
You have
down, you idiot.
Yeah, calm down. You have to follow everybody back. You have to follow him to see his tweets though. He's one of those guys.
He's got to protect it, huh?
It's a protected. So we can't see what craziness he's putting out because I am not following that fucking idiot. I can't do it because I don't want him following me back.
He will.
And then hunting me down and killing me.
He's certainly team follow back.
Because that's what I saw and I'm like, oh shit, I have a check mark too. He'll just follow me back on Reflex and then a bunch of people are going to be tagging me and fucking with him and then next thing you know, I'm going to be, I'm going to be in one of these cities doing a show and Pacman's
airport
and I'm going to hear suck my dick cracker and I'm going to be like, what the fuck? And then I'm going to get socked in the face by Pacman. I don't need that shit.
Bitch ass wop.
Bitch ass guinea motherfucker. So that is Pacman Jones, everybody. And it's an episode you guys have all requested for a while and because he's one of the famous, most arrested crazy people in
And
sports.
3 years ago, it was still in the midst of
all that casino shit wasn't in there. It would have been not a great show.
No.
I'm so happy we waited. And you know what?
So much
who knows what can come in the future?
Yeah.
That's the other thing. The future's unlimited.
It is not over.
He could kill 5 people tomorrow.
That man still owes $12 million.
Oh.
He's about to get real fucking desperate.
He has no job. He owes $12 million. He's fucking getting arrested all the time. He just got arrested. He could kill, he could poison the water water supply of an entire town and kill everybody. And we'd all not be surprised.
He's so close to Kentucky. The meth in Kentucky is insanity.
Oh, forget about it.
He's going to be doing something nutty.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sure of it.
So there's Pacman, though, everybody. If you like Pacman Jones or if you like our telling of Pacman Jones, tell us about it. Go on iTunes, Apple Podcast, that purple damn icon. Give us 5 stars. Tell us your following instructions or following directions. It really doesn't matter what you say. It's not for our ego. It is for business purposes because that drives you up the charts for some reason. You can also go to shutupandgivememurder.com right now for all of your crime and sports and not to mention all of your small town murder needs. Get all of your tickets to your live shows coming up on Small Town Murder. We're going to be in Ohio next week. This week, I should say, in a couple days.
This weekend.
Friday and Saturday, Columbus and Cleveland.
Fuck yeah.
We'll be there. Come out and see us there. Crime and sports in Phoenix is sold out. We're sorry about that, but we are excited that it's sold out. Yeah. Can't wait to see everybody. It's going to be fucking nuts. Let's just say that. So that's going to be fun. Do all of that. Please follow us on social media. We are at Crime and Sports on Twitter and Facebook, and at Small Town Murder on Instagram. And if you want to be one of our superstars, one of our producers, who we're going to talk about here, who
Hall of Famers.
These people, we can't do this without them. And if you've noticed this week, there's no ads this week. No ads last week.
Yeah.
Next week, guess what? There's not going to be any ads on Crime and Sports.
Right.
We're going 3 straight weeks with no ads, and hope you enjoy that. Hope you do. And, if you feel like throwing a few bucks and saying, hey, you know what? That's a lot of quality entertainment. Go ahead. And if not, fucking who cares? Listen anyway.
Right.
But thanks for doing that. And let's hear, Jimmy, damn it. Well, I got to say where they can do it. Patreon.com.
James.
/Crime and Sports. Patreon.com /Crime and Sports. Or PayPal using our email address, which is crimeandsports@gmail.com. And you can find both those links right from where, Jimmy?
Over there, shutupandgivememurder.com.
That's the place.
Right.
You can do that. And before, you know what, Jimmy, before I call you a cracker and tell you to suck my dick, please hit me with that list.
This week's executive producers, fucking executives, are Doug Fields, Katrina Busati, Michael Jones, Alexander, not Andrea. What am I doing? Alexander Pasciaccio. Pascaccio.
Hey. Hey.
I can't read it. Jordan Bennett, thank you very much. We'll see you in Cleveland.
Yeah, thank you, Jordan.
Devin Resnikoff, Bonnie Klein, Ryan Bender, and Hunter Duchesne. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you
for everything.
Amy in Ohio, happy birthday. And Robin Francis turned 50 this month, and she got a new knee. That's a big fucking month. Congratulations.
Wow. Definitely.
Glad
Congrats.
to have
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you. Morgan Hodakowski, Abigail Cope, Abigail Cook, that's what that is.
Very simple.
Karen Hunt.
Simplest name ever.
Christina Bernhardt, Tia Harris, Dylan Irish, Ryan McCain, Joe Tuttle, TJ Mack, thank you, TJ. Maggie Keeshan, what is it, Juwan, or is that Juan? No, what is that, J? Is that a J? Luann, maybe? I think it's Joe. What did I do? Is that a J? Fuck. Rowan?
Sad.
It's really depressing.
Watching a grown man struggle to read his own writing.
Thomas Smith, Kerrigan O'Connor, Kay Zomerley, yes, Martina Liwalonga, Kelsey Jennison, Nick Taylor, Jennifer Britzman, Shelley Rostron, what is wrong with me? Megan Rudis, Christopher Hughes, Micah Shy, what is that? Space Lizard Lucifina? I think that's a Dan Cook.
Thing, yeah.
That's a Dan Cook. Or Dan Cook?
It's Dan Cummins. Don't do that to poor Dan.
Sorry, Dan.
Dan's a very talented comedian.
I didn't even write his name, so I just mispronounced it in my own head. Adam Udani, Cheryl Shine, Paige Meglior, Julia Crowley Farinka. I'm just going to go and say yes.
Do it, John.
Kairu, Sophia Gamble, Savannah Bell, Crystal Bunt, Nicole Porter, Nicholas Porter,
Jesus.
Michelle Terry, Ryan Hansen, Joey Painting, Liz Vasquez, Beck and Matt Spence, Jennifer Stalker, Reagan Shaukley, Sydney Cotton, Comdon,
Condom?
Yes, Wade Cologne, Peyton Meadows, Devin Williams, T. Squeegee, Joel Musfelt, Bram Verhees, Rebecca Anderson, Lauren Demarath. Demarath. I've said that one a billion times.
A lot.
Right.
Thank you.
Billy Compton, Emily with no last name, Mariah Menhier, Justin Miller, Kate Hootenluter. That's
Take
what
your
it
word
is.
for it.
Chantel Meacham, Jamie Wistenhofer, Winchester.
Wow. Wistenhofer.
That legitimately is what I saw. Luke Lademan, Gary Howard, got it, nailed it this time. Didn't call him Carly.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks
Gretchen Oswalt, Melissa Honeycutt, Emmanuel Christian, Gabba J. Visenhot.
I don't know.
I don't either. Erica? No. Ergo Luchamano, Abby Crabble, Leslie Kidd, Alice Sink, Emily Warwick, Michael Costello, Mary Brew, Shannon Russell, Steffi with S-T-E-P. Oh, no, it's S-E-P-I. Seppi.
Okay.
I don't know.
Sure.
Jeff Chambers, Nancy Graham, Darren Mihal, and Jess Stope. Thank you both. John and Debbie Raznikoff, Razkowski, Melissa Days. Yeah, I think. Felicity Stratton, Adrian Perry, Dan McCabe, Bria Gale, Leslie Kidd. I said that. Mike Costello. I said that. I got all those. Next page. Mary Richards, Tyler Gwill, Brennan Potter, David Albery, Alex Ortiz, Rachel Hilliard Brown, Knight, that's K-N-I-G-H-T,
okay.
Kyle Avery, Kieran McGuire, Krista Walker, Aaron Valella, David Barnhart, Robin Anderson, Felipe Torres, Retta Ekstrom, Brenna Boone, James Aselta, Julian Hayes, Ashley Vio, Christopher Hart, Larissa Harris, Trenton Brunts, Anthony Canella, Patrick Martin, and all of our Patreon supporters. You guys are amazing.
Thank you, everybody, so much for every damn thing you do for us. That means the world to us, and we honestly can't do the show without you, because like we said, this week, for 3 weeks, there's no ads. So basically that's free show. We work for free.
Absolutely.
So, anything you guys, we are just so appreciative of you guys supplementing
taking
and
care of us.
taking care of us. Thank you so much for that and make me want to go out there and figure out all the court cases and which assault is this and which stripper did he punch this time? We appreciate that. Jimmy, what if they appreciated you? How can they find you?
You can find me at Wisman Sucks, WHISMAN Sucks on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat. And thank you guys. You guys are really the driving force. So thanks. Truly. That's real. What about you?
For real. You can find me at Jimmy P is funny, or just copy and paste my last name from the show description. Make it easy on yourself. Or if you're Pacman Jones, that's not my name at all. It's an alias that no one will ever tell you.
Right.
So I'm hiding.
I am Jimmy P is funny.
That's not me. That's him. That said, everybody, get your arugula. Put it on your sandwich and be here again next week, live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
In the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles,
a big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud,
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.